I'ma stay. Singing to your bitch like I was Drake, yeah.
Don't just try to tell me you love me. Can't keep it real if you really don't trust me. Come with a real, you hip in the front, so you get my meals. I'm gunning for the money in the bank. Come on with a dank, scrolling in the tank, rolling with the gang. You sitting out on the sideline tripping, I go to the hole with a rock like Pippin.
Yeah. I'm okay.
She's not showing her ears. She's
what up, though? Welcome to Word of OH Live on WordSports.com. Easy by Raxter,
What up,
Young
though?
Chris,
Here.
Nicholas Koloff, a.k.a. Crash Out Koloff, a.k.a. Mustache Mario, a.k.a.
Microwave Nick.
Microwave Nick,
Let's
a.k.a.
go.
Unky Nick, a.k.a. Hide Your Bitch. We also have the finest moldy bread covered in mustard. The loser.
It's a Hebrew National.
Hebrew National.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Come on, man.
Is that type of glizzy?
Yeah.
I didn't
You
know.
never had Hebrew National? They're good. It's a good hot dog. It's a solid hot dog.
What a hot start.
Yeah,
What a
yeah.
hot start.
Yeah.
Hebrew National.
It's just who I am. It's
Call
just
like
off
I
the top
see
of my head. Yeah. Chase in the building as well.
Jason Billing as well. Shout
yeah.
out. That's honestly, I think, the worst record anyone's ever had in the pick'em. Because typically you get a lock, you're supposed to pick a lock and it can double up your points.
No one told me the rules, and no one told me we were doing the segment, so
Yeah.
it is what it is, man.
Sounds
In
like
the hot dog
excuses.
suit, I'm here.
It's all right. Yeah. No, you're doing it.
Chilling and grilling, man.
I respect it. I really do.
Shout out.
And to be honest, it matches the
Definitely
Michigan
chilling and
gear.
grilling.
Definitely chilling and grilling.
Chilling and grilling. It matches the Michigan gear.
Hey, I'm doing the Maz chair proud.
Yes.
Imagine Maz in this hot dog suit.
Oh, dude.
Oh, we gotta make.
We
some
got to
kind
get
of bet
Maz
for
to
that.
pick them.
Let me tell you guys something right now. The
He
Woodward
said he
heavyweights.
came in worse
We're
last
going to have a lot
for
of
the 80 this
opportunities
week.
for you guys.
Yeah.
Pretty soon.
I think it
A lot
starts
of
on the
good
27th. I don't know when this starts, but the month of January will be a fucking wild.
It's going to be a wild month.
It is going to be insane.
You want to slap Chris? You want to slap Easy? You want to see Nick and Chris fight? There's
Want to
gonna
see
be a
something
lot.
happen to Spencer?
Yeah,
Come on, let's play it. Let's make
no,
it fair.
nothing about me.
And look, man,
You want to
I-
see me and Easy wrestle for the first segment?
Yeah. That's been in the making for years.
That's been in the making for years.
For
There's
years.
going to be a lot of opportunities for you guys to.
Put your money where
You
your
want to
mouth
come on here and talk shit to somebody about their take
It's gonna happen
live
soon.
on air?
I think the 27th is when we roll this stuff out. We'll figure it out, but
Be prepared.
yeah, we'll keep you guys up to date as soon as we get the
And we're
fine
going to be
details.
possibly starting a Patreon.
Yes, because if it turns to what I think it can turn into,
What's a Patreon?
They pay for stuff. Like it's
Yeah.
an OnlyFans, but OnlyFans got taken over by the Whoos.
OnlyFans used to be a Patreon.
Yeah, OnlyFans was originally made to be like Patreon, where if we have extra content, we'll put videos out there. You subscribe,
Behind a
$5 a
paywall.
month, and unlock those content. But OnlyFans got taken over by the Whoos, so it's got a negative connotation. But everybody, like my boy Mustache, subscribes to the King and the Sting Patreon.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
They still do that?
And yeah, I don't know, but when they did it, he like recorded a video and they played it on the, or they interviewed him. Like he came on the show
Oh,
and
what?
they interviewed, and they were calling him Detroit Mike or something like that, and they were talking about like Coney Dog because he's a GM at the Nationals. It was funny.
No fucking
Yeah.
way. This was Theo Von,
Yeah, Theo Von and
We
Brent
roasted him?
and
Brendan Schaub.
yeah, Brendan Schaub.
Does he have the video still?
Yeah, I'm sure I can ask him for
Oh,
it.
dude, yeah, Stash, you gotta send that, man. Shout out. Not shout out to the Chicago Bears. God damn it. We just one win.
Yeah,
The one time we're rooting for you guys, you fucking fell through. And I can't say I'm not surprised, but like, holy shit, watching it last night.
it was bad.
It reminded me of like the worst version of the Lions.
We're gonna
like
beat-
some of the worst versions of the
We're gonna
Lions.
beat the Bears by 40 points.
Yeah. I told you guys, as soon as I made Thomas Brown the head coach, I'm like, I don't know if that's. They should have let Eberflus finish out the year. I
Yep.
know he's looked like a dickhead against us specifically. Literally standing like a dumbass, like with the
But he
fucking
just-
timeout in his pocket and everything.
He just lost, 3 games to your 3 division opponents by 3 points or less in a row.
And he fired him.
And he got fired.
yeah.
And, I mean,
I get it, but
there's
also,
way too much on
Thomas Brown.
Thomas Brown's plate.
Yeah.
He went from receivers coach to offensive coordinator, head coach within 3 weeks.
And if you notice too, like when he was solely just the offensive coordinator, those games were close. He moved the head coach. So since he was offensive coordinator, I could be mistaken, but I believe it was the Packers game, which was 2019. They lost. Then the Vikings game after that, that one was overtime, 30-27. And then us, 2023. He goes from offensive coordinator to the head coach.
Yeah.
49ers, by the way, not like a great team this year.
They have not
so
been good
take
this
that with a
year,
grain
no.
of salt. 38-13. the Vikings, who they played to overtime last time, 12-30.
Yeah.
And it also just looked like the most 0-16 version of the Detroit Lions.
Very bad play calls, people dropping balls, people not blocking. You have a touchdown that could put you back in the game, but it gets called back because you didn't report eligible, and then you hold and get pushed back even further.
Yeah, because they got to the 1 yard line afterward.
You got Tyreek Stevenson getting an interception on 4th down that he could have batted down and saved you 15 yards, and then dancing about it. You've got it was just stupid plays being made by the Bears left or right. We are going to demolish the Bears this week.
Oh, for sure, for goddamn sure. Because I don't know if you guys heard the speech Dan Campbell gave just to 97.1.
Yeah, we got it.
We do. I want to save it for it because we got his own segment. But imagine the speech he gave to the locker room.
Imagine the speech he gave to the locker room.
Dan Campbell went on a flagship, a live radio interview, and dropped 2 F-bombs.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. I love that guy.
Yeah, no, there's nothing not to love about Dan Campbell. That's who he is. He's the ultimate motivator, and I said what I said because of the injuries. And if anybody can motivate these 5th, 6th string guys to perform at a high level, it's Dan Campbell. So we'll see, but nobody should be worried about this. We are going to embarrass the Bears.
Yeah, we'll get to all that stuff too. Jameer Gibbs on ESPN.
I'm back for sure. This is a non-negotiable. We are gonna pop the Bears either.
That was gonna happen.
After
to be honest with you,
this team they're a complete shit show.
I was more sad. I said it yesterday too. I was sad Monty because I thought he really could break the record.
Yeah, I'm sad for Monty for personal sadness.
Yes, and interesting enough though, they did not put him on injury reserve. Everybody else had the conversation about move to injury reserve, and it obviously could be delayed. We've seen Dave Montgomery not put on injury reserve for some whatever reason.
An offensive lineman gets surgery on didn't Frank get surgery on his MCL last year or his meniscus or something, and came back 2 weeks later. I can understand that for an offensive lineman, but for a running back, the amount of lateral movement and torque you put on your knees trying to do cuts and different things like that.
What do you think? You think a month's time?
Probably not.
North-south runs, maybe like short yard situations?
I mean, it depends on the severity of the tear or the strain, if it was even a tear. But
and
if
he
has
purely
surgery
speculating because I'm why wasn't he made?
Wasn't it diagnosed as a sprain?
It was, yeah. It was not diagnosed a tear, but he had surgery on it. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. I don't know. Crazier things are gonna happen. I hope he can come back, but I'm not holding my breath.
I'm very curious what the hell's going on with that situation. It could very well tomorrow while we're on air he gets moved. What'd you say?
Tay Hopkins says Caleb Williams is her.
Yeah, I mean, that's another conversation. Your boy Neil, I'm pro fuck Bears, so
that's aggressive.
Go out there and fuck a bear.
What Neil did today was aggressive, and I told him it was aggressive, but
But fuck it. I'm with it. Fuck him.
Talk some shit.
Fuck him.
Because he looked bad. Really bad. And he's laying down on the bench like Justin was on this couch 10 minutes ago. You're a grown man. This is your job. Sit up, take your licks. If you're in pain, if you're actually in pain,
stand up
or go in the blue medical tent. Don't lay down on the bench. Come on, man.
And I would understand.
He's getting his ass whooped though. He's the highest sack quarterback in the NFL, so he's definitely taking some licks.
I think he's the 3rd or 4th most sacked rookie of all time.
Yeah,
but he also, let's be fair about it, and they said it during the broadcast too. And Troy Aikman, another former number 1 overall pick quarterback, he holds on to the ball too long.
He does. He's trying to make. On
top of it being a bad offensive line.
Bad offensive line. Fat Keenan Allen.
Hey, leave me alone.
And he's a rookie, and he doesn't have a good play caller, and he doesn't have a head coach. So there are a lot of things that factor into it, and it's not like his season is any worse than any of the other rookie quarterbacks. They're all pretty much playing the exact same level of football.
Literally, they really are.
Yeah, they're all at 18-5.
Yeah, Bo Nix finally made the jump and hit 20 touchdowns, I think, in the last game.
Yeah, but he
also has 11 interceptions.
Yeah, so nobody's really been head above better than anybody else when you look at the rookie quarterbacks. And he's in a bad situation. It was funny to hear national media and people say this is the best situation possible for a rookie.
To be honest, bro, I think we all said that on this show.
I did not.
I'm pretty sure we all did.
I did not.
They got some dogs on that offense.
The offensive line sucks.
Yeah,
and they don't have a play caller.
But I'm pretty damn sure we all were like, yeah, I mean, a rookie coming into a receiving situation like that.
The
that's
receiving
ideal.
core is nice, but
Yeah,
the
you could
offense.
say best weapons that a rookie
Yeah.
quarterback had, but you couldn't say best offense.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I feel like they should have kept that one offensive coordinator they had from last year. I don't remember his name.
Yeah. Because, dude, remember when they signed the guy from the Seahawks and they asked JSN about
Shane
it?
Waldron. Yeah, he's like, ugh, ooh.
Is this live? Like, and now
Yeah,
look
yeah.
what JSN is doing this year. So,
Facts. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Uncle Neil said what he said.
he's, Neil hates the Bears. I hate the Bears too.
I hate the Bears too.
I'm just not going to call the kid a bust after his rookie season with the circumstances that he's had.
And he's on par with every other
And he's a
rookie
rookie.
quarterback. I will say this, though. I did pull up the numbers for him and Jaden Daniels. They are pretty much identical with both 17 touchdowns. Jaden Daniels, 6 interceptions. Caleb only 5. But then you go to Jaden's rushing touchdowns. He has 6 of those.
Yeah.
And obviously just the yards with that, too. There's a little bit of on top of that Caleb. Although, did you see the spin move we put on your boy Fred Warner?
Who, Caleb Williams?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
No,
dirty.
Caleb Williams is, he's very talented. But
Yeah, he could have got fucking his clock clean.
he's not a leader of men. That's one
No.
thing he's never going to have unless he stops laying down on the bench.
Till he becomes a man. Just saying. No, not like that. I didn't mean it like that, but I'm just saying like,
First transitioning quarterback in NFL history.
Okay. Nick, Unky Nick, we out Caleb
No, I
Williams.
know what you mean. He's got to man up. He's got to.
Yeah.
You're in a grown man's league. This isn't college. You're not at USC anymore. This ain't Kansas anymore, Dorothy. So like you can't be lying down on the bench acting like you're in pain. You can't be taking too long to stand up where your team has to burn timeouts for it unless you're going to stay. If you're injured, stay down. If not, you got to get up. Everybody's getting hit. I know you're getting hit more than most people, but this is what you signed up for, man.
The numbers look comparable to the other quarterbacks. Yeah, that is true. But it's also, this comes down to one thing that I'm big on, and it's winning games. It doesn't have to be flashy. Obviously, he does have a lot of the flash plays, but can you lead your team down the field when they need you the most? And, this guy, I mean, he hasn't been a leader like we just talked about. He hasn't found a way to win games. He really couldn't win games at USC either. And, I mean, there just comes to a point where, if you can't win games, I don't care how flashy you are and how good some of your passes look. If you're not picking up W's, it does not matter. And I know he doesn't have a great line, but obviously he's not doing himself any favors.
I just can't put that type of
Yeah.
But sometimes it works out. I just can't put wins on a rookie quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like you could go across some of the greatest quarterbacks all time. You look at that rookie season; it's not always have been pretty. Jared Goff's wasn't. Matthew Stafford's wasn't. Peyton Manning's
look at
wasn't.
Peyton Manning's.
Yeah,
he threw like 30 interceptions.
Yeah, I'm not asking a rookie to will anybody to victory. What C.J. Stroud did last year was a complete anomaly.
You're looking at Commanders and Broncos winning games with rookie quarterbacks right now.
And those are anomalies. That doesn't happen.
Eduardo O'Neill says, "Does Goff outplay Caleb on Sunday?" Yes. Easily.
Yeah. Bears are cooked.
Not even close.
Bears are cooked. I feel bad
And
for
they're
Thomas
both, and
Brown.
like all the people that are like, we're talking about this in the back because somebody in the back, I won't say their name, hates the turtleneck golf and the hand warmer golf and the double glove golf in the cold. And I was saying from the perspective of, well, at least it's not Justin Fields on the other side. Because Justin Fields, he would
Fuck us
come
up.
out, no sleeves, the eye black, yoked up with some aura. Caleb Williams, he's going to come out in the turtleneck, double gloved up with the hand warmer on. So the aura is going to be even. And Jared Goff is a much better quarterback. Like Caleb Williams, kid from California, he's going to be bundled up playing in Chicago.
I think he's from D.C.
Yeah, but he's played in California.
No, yeah, he played at USC. Yeah, I mean, look, we'll see how that thing shakes out. I look at it, Peyton Manning. I get what Bo Nix is doing right now. Granted, when did the Broncos pick? Like 19th or something like that? So they like a semi-decent roster. They've always had that defense, too. That defense, like, stayed carrying them. Who's the other rookie quarterback you said? Jaden, though. That one is...
Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
And let's not forget the
Yeah.
Bears.
He's the
picked-
Heisman
But
for a reason.
but you know what, dude? They got fucking...
They got a good receiving
And
core.
we're going to talk about the Vikings, too, but, like, the whole situation set up over there in D.C. is kind of, like, ideal because you got a guy, former offensive coordinator, but also head coach, and Kingsbury as, like, your OC. You got Dan, who was, like, one of he was the master of the Legion of Boom. You know what I'm saying? He put that together, and he also went to the Super Bowl with the Falcons. Like, you have your... I wouldn't call Kingsbury, like, the best offensive coordinator, but, like, a good offensive mind. and they have a great defensive mind, and they have the perfect marriage. Hey, I'm gonna handle this side of the ball, you handle that side of the ball. I think it's the same thing got going on in Minnesota right now. They're 12-2 with Sam Darnold. Makes no sense. Like sometimes coaching can overcome that. I think Sam Darnold 12-2 right now could point to Caleb Williams like having a career down the line. Bad coaching can make good players look bad. Not in bad, but just you won't win games.
Yeah.
Like 17 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, that's not horrible. It's not good, but it's not horrible. Yeah. Horrible is like 12 touchdowns and 11 interceptions or something like that, you know? I don't know. We see Matthew Stafford, obviously.
No, he's a rookie, man. They're all rookies. Not everybody's going to do what C.J. Stroud did last year, you know? It's...
And look at CJ this year.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Kind of fell back to earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually weird. I thought they'd go back to being that offense juggernaut once no disrespect
Nico Collins came back.
Well, Stephon Diggs when he
once he got hurt. Yeah.
Well, because I'm thinking maybe like, okay, last year this offense they weren't trying to force feed 3 wide receivers. Stephon Diggs takes a step back. Okay, now you're back to like what you're doing last year. You still got Dalton Schultz and everything. Ugh.
James in the Woodward Sports Chat says moldy bread is my superfood. So we're going to hear why he said that coming up next. But first, let me tell you about Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness, the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can work out and feel comfortable. You can get a full-body workout in 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all of that for just $15 a month, or upgrade to the Black Card, get use of amenities like hydro massage, total body enhancement, and all that good stuff, as well as access to over 2,500 locations worldwide. To join, go in club or online at planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
Get energized for the holidays during the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Now through December 20th, join for $1 down, $15 a month. And recharge this holiday season and beyond in the clean and spacious judgment-free zone, filled with equipment for every workout. Stay motivated with free fitness training and lots more. Celebrate the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Join for $1 down, $15 a month. Hurry, offer ends December 20th.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
KDK Law, guys. Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law got your back. Give them a call, 248-971-0476, or scan the QR code. You're doing child custody, visitation, or any type of criminal law. Kevin and Catherine got your back.
You know what happens is, you win 11 in a row, and you lose, and then the sky falls. And I hate to say it, but we're not going to be able to win 11 in a row again for the rest of this season. We're just not going to be able to do it. And, what happens is you get used to eating filet, and I'm talking to all of us, and everything's good. Life's good, but you forgot what it was like when you had nothing and you ate your molded bread, and it was just fine, and it gave you everything you needed. And sometimes you got to get punched in the mouth and remember what it used to be like to really appreciate where you are. And we'll do that. And so we got a bad taste in our mouth. We got kicked around the other day. We lost a few guys. And you know what? It's exactly what we needed. This is exactly what we needed. So we're going to bounce back. We're going to respond. We got guys that are about to have an unbelievable opportunity here. And we will play the game any way needed to win. We still got a good offense. We got plenty of defensive players. I can go rattle them off right now. We're going to put the best 11 on the field. We're going to freaking cut it loose. We're going to play with our special teams. And I don't give a crap if we got to win by 1 point for the rest of the year. That's what we're going to do. And I'm going to be happy about it. We come out of the game with 50 yards of total offense and we win by 1, you're going to see smiles on my face. I promise you. All right? If it's the other way defensively, we give up 700 yards and we win by 1 point, you're going to see a smile from my ear to ear. All right? I can promise you. So we're going to find a way and we're going to get it done.
And that was Dan Campbell on the Lions flagship radio station earlier, their morning show with Costa and Jansen. And
From my fucking ear to ear.
yeah, I'd say. I mean, what else are you gonna say? He's right. It's what they've said all year. It's what they've shown. It's next man up, and he's right. It doesn't matter how you win.
That's the part that resonated with me most, man. It's like,
just win.
Just fucking win.
Just win.
Even when I was listening to talk, I don't know if it's the post-game presser or the day after, but he was just talking about, like, I don't give a fuck about anything. I'm just on sideline trying to, like, manipulate the game in our favor. And it doesn't matter if it's through special teams, doesn't matter through the defense, on offense. Like, I don't fucking care as long as you win. And to be honest with you, Spinny, that is all that matters. We got to fight that way through, and I think we're a good enough team to just beat these teams outright, like, leading into the playoffs. But once we hit that playoff, that's where it gets to, man.
Yeah.
I remember Eli Manning and the New York Giants. Eli has 2 Super Bowl rings. Not the prettiest football player of all time at all. Like, he beat Tom Brady.
Yep.
It was ugly football. But he got the job done, and you got that ring, and no one can say shit about it. It's like the Michigan team right now. You got to kiss the ring, regardless of the day, and that's what we got to do. That's just what it is at this point. And I talked about it yesterday with Carlton Davis. I'm fine with Kendall Vildor. I have no problem with it. I think we're obviously, when you look at the running back position with Dave Montgomery, that sucks because I think he established that tone. Right, he's the one that goes out there and he punches them in the mouth typically. But Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 running back in the league right now, and I'm not just saying that off of my fandom. He literally ranks the 5th running back in rushing yards right now, with 80 to 100 less carries than the 4 guys ahead of him. Like, we are fine. I promise you, we are fine. It's just when you get in those matchups against the cream of the crop, when you obviously you're not evenly matched up, but we got damn good coaching staff to make up for that.
Yeah, and like I said, these last 3 games of the season, I said it yesterday, I fully expect them to win all 3 of them. And then you have the first round bye, which would be huge, and then home field advantage going forward, and anything can happen in the playoffs. But it makes me nervous. I'm not going to sit here and say it doesn't. When you lose definitely Carlton Davis and Aleem McNeil, obviously David Montgomery, you still have Jahmyr Gibbs, so that loss doesn't impact you as much. You still don't want to see him go down because of how good he is, but Carlton Davis and Aleem McNeil is scary to me. Losing those 2 guys on top of already the tattered and broken defense you have. But I said it earlier in the beginning, if anybody can get these guys hype, if anybody can get these practice squad and scrap heap guys to perform at a high level, it's going to be Dan Campbell in the way he says. And Jared Goff also went on to say on the flagship that this is who he is. Like they asked him, I forget. I think it was.
Is that how Dan Campbell talks to you?
Stoney asked him. Yeah. Is that how Dan Campbell talks to you? He said, yeah, that's who he is. It's how he talks to us. He's genuine, and he's right. We just got to go out there and win, and that is the name of the game. You win the game. So they're going to need some big time performances going down the rest of the season here for guys like Pat O'Connor and Kendall Vildor if they want to achieve their goals of winning the Super Bowl, because it still is Super Bowl or bust. There is no consolation if you lose in the divisional round, or if you lose in the NFC Championship game, or even the Super Bowl because of the injuries. It's still a failure. This is a Super Bowl or bust season, and you need to go out there and take care of business. Like Dan Campbell said, every win matters. It doesn't matter if it's by 50. It doesn't matter if it's by 3. You need to win the game. And going forward, it's going to be a lot harder with the guys that you lost. Going forward, you're not going to have as much of a cushion or as much leverage to make mistakes because of the playmakers you don't have available to you anymore. So they're going to have to play sound, concrete football. And like Dan Campbell said in that quote, in that interview, they're going to cut loose and they're going to play. So expect to see Jared Goff unloading that bitch down the field a lot for the rest of the season. Expect to see them going for it on every 4th down. Expect to see Jack Fox rarely used in situations because they're going for throats now. It's kill or be killed. You don't have the defensive playmakers to go out there and win a game 7-10. You don't. So the Bears game, you don't got to worry about. You're going to absolutely dog walk this Bears team. San Francisco, you should have no problems with. The Vikings, the last game of the year, that's a playoff game. That very well could be, and I expect it to be, for the division and for the number 1 seed in the NFC. So that's going to be a dogfight, and then going forward, nothing's given to you in the playoffs. You got to go take it. So expect this offense to get aggressive and expect them to try to put up as many points as possible.
I like the other part you said about too. And it was funny, by the way, too. I got the moldy bread. That's fucking awesome. We got to used to eat the caviar, the fillets, and he's talking about everybody. Talking from the coaching staff to the practice squad to the guys on the main roster. We got to look too comfortable. And I'll be honest with you, Spinney, like, you don't like to lose, for sure, especially in the pursuit of number 1 seed. And you got the Minnesota Vikings, for whatever fucking reason, on our ass. So fucking annoying.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at this Detroit Lions team, like, we were the flower that rose from the concrete. Like, we were the underdogs. We were the guys that slept on, and it's so much easier for a guy like Dan Campbell to fucking gather all that, muster up into this fucking moldy bread, if you will, to feed this team. Feed them that shit. Starve them out, so when it comes to that Sunday, they're hungry. Yeah. I like it better when this team's the underdog. I like when this team has something to prove, because this team shows out and they do it. It's much easier to punch the opposing guy in the face when you feel disrespected, when you feel slept on, more than you are, nose high, chest high.
Yeah.
I like the underdog mentality a lot more, especially as just Detroit, than where we were before. I like that we have a loss. I know it sounds crazy, but I like having a loss heading into these playoffs. Yeah, I think Amir Gibbs on ESPN said the same damn thing. He said that he felt the team needed a little bit too.
And Burn, I don't give a shit about the loss. I don't care about losing to the Bills. I care about the guys you lost in that game. Mm-hmm. Burn in the Woodward Sports Chat says, what do we call this defense? If they do this, they need to name a bunch of civilians out there. Yeah, I mean,
the Northern Savages.
I don't want
to. They don't got technology. They don't got cell phones. They got reception. They're just out there roaming. Nomads.
The Amish.
Would love for us to get JPP if he's up to it, says Kenny Powers.
I don't know if he shot to Kenny Powers. I mean, he's been out of the league for a minute.
They're gonna grab somebody. They grabbed Anthony Pittman. He's gonna play a big role in their special teams with Khalil Dorsey being out, because that is kind of an undersold one. Obviously, when you have 3, and
he's more of an edge rusher. Injuries. We need a defensive tackle.
Yeah, we need a D tackle. They're gonna grab somebody.
I think specifically a defensive tackle that could get after the quarterback a little bit, because I think that's what Lean brought you.
Expect Pat O'Connor to play a lot of snaps, and Levi Onwuzurike in the middle is gonna play a lot of snaps. Chris, what were you gonna say?
I think going back to Easy's point. You're right, Easy. I think this is fun for Dan Campbell in some sense. I think this is where he really relishes. I think this is where he doesn't obviously prefer to be, but I think he enjoys this type of challenge. I think he enjoys being in the state that this team is, which Easy said. It's still Super Bowl or bust. There's no asterisk, but yet, given the context of this team, they are counted out right now. And I think that's where Dan Campbell will thrive. I think that's where we'll see some of the best Dan Campbell coaching you will see. I think you will see these players play with a high energy. I don't think you will see this team play like a team that's lost half their roster. I think you'll see this team play with the same expectations that they had last week and every week this season. So I feel confident about that.
To be honest with you, too, I'm also confident to deliver on that as well, because the nucleus of this team had come from that. Yeah. The nucleus of this team was part of the I don't care if you have one ass cheek and 3 toes. The nucleus of this team was there for that speech. Is like, I don't care if it's the teams that are a tier above us. We're going to drag them out to the deep, and we're going to float just long enough and then drown them. And I think that's what we can do.
And to go to that point, the last thing I wanted to bring up, Easy, that directly ties with it is, to me, this red zone defense has been very good for parts of the season. There's been parts of the season where it slipped, but overall, this has been a very good red zone defense. And that's where I think you need Aaron Glenn and this defense to thrive. I know it sucks that it's not ideal for, between the 20s for the teams to eat. But if you can continue to stop touchdowns, to turn touchdowns into field goals, and continue to operate at an elite level offensively, you do win by that 1 point. They do get that 700 yards, but you still get the victory. That's the key. So, and I think that the red zone defense can still be good given the roster we have.
There hasn't been the past 2 games, but we'll
I
hopefully.
think it can, though.
I mean, I'm not going to count the game against the Bears coming up, because I don't expect them to be scoring many touchdowns, let alone red zone trips. But Eduardo O'Neill in the Woodward Sports Chat with a $5 super chat, he said, Vikings will lose to Green Bay. Lions will take care of business. See y'all in the NFC title game. Lions will snatch chains. We move. Rando Smalls in the Woodward Sports Chat says, Dan does like the challenge. We are going to see more JMO, more blitzes, more line stunts. We may see Hooker Wildcat package. I wouldn't go that far. I would expect their offense to get a little more aggressive, but I don't know about Hooker.
Hey, but give me a little Hooker tush push. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if it costs $5 and I got off the corner. Do that. I don't understand. But real quick, just across the NFL, why don't running backs tush push? Like why don't you, if you got a bigger body guy, maybe a tight end even. I think I've seen a tight end do it before. That's what I would do.
Derrick Henry?
Yeah, if you want to keep your if you have a Jared Goff and the guy that's not, you got to keep protected and clean, all that good stuff like that, go get your tight end. Go get make them to the tush
I think
push.
teams try to, but they're just not as good as the Eagles.
They're not used to taking snaps and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, Hurts is built different too. Let's not forget.
Yeah,
But that's what I'm
swapped like
saying. Go
700
grab your
pounds.
fullback. Go grab your tight end. Like grab a guy that
They do it a
got
lot
some.
in college. A lot of
Tush
tight
push?
ends do it in college. That's where
Yeah,
it's mostly done.
that is true.
Chris, to your point real quick, I do think obviously the red zone defense has to step up, but honestly, I cannot expect too much out of this defense where everybody needs to step up. It's on the offensive side of the ball, and you're going to have to outscore a lot of teams. Nobody in this room is jumping off a bandwagon. I saw a bunch of ridiculous comments last night.
That's what
Oh,
happens.
you're getting out of the bandwagon. That's not true. It just makes it significantly harder to ultimately win the Super Bowl because your defense is all on the IR right now. That's why the offense needs to be elite. And something that happened last week that can't happen, slow starts. You need to get ahead, and you need to put your defense in opportunities to get turnovers. That's how you still remain a Super Bowl contender
agree.
and ultimately win it.
You're
Carlton
asking them
Davis
to just be
posted
good
on his
enough
Instagram
defensively.
story a picture of him running out of the tunnel with "Through the Wire" by Kanye West being played. And we know he has a broken
What
jaw.
a great song.
He can come back
I don't think
in
you can play
January
with a broken
for an
jaw
NFC
in
Conference
the-
Championship game.
in the NFL, though.
No, but 6 weeks?
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, dude, you'll be good.
Yeah.
He'll have a face mask like the one guy we were watching for the Bills, the fucking snowflake.
Yeah.
I mean, in 6 weeks' time, sure. I don't know. That's the other thing too. Yesterday we were talking about like just the injuries. Like, can you point to the training staff? Can you point to the coaching regimen, or how hard they're going throughout the week? Broken jaw is not like an overworked guy. We saw Liam when he injured his. He jumped on one foot and landed on his leg. That was the ACL. The leg for Hutch was on Liam's fucking concrete calf. Like, they are freak injuries. And I wanted to just rescind that comments we made yesterday. We do have to pay some bills, though. Tell us about Feldman Chevrolet.
Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit FeldmanAuto.com to find the location nearest you. And catch Woodward Sports Network live from Feldman Chevrolet of Novi every other Monday. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
And Jars.
And don't forget to check out Jars Cannabis, guys. They got multiple locations here in Metro Detroit and more coming to Grand Rapids, Madison Heights, and Milan. 27 locations to be exact right here across the state of Michigan. Rapping Michigan in a big way. It's JarsCannabis.com. Make sure you check them out.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
The Super Bowl parade in Detroit will be one for the record books. Detroit just does it different. Woodward Sports, your official Super Bowl or bust Lions network.
On game days, make sure you wake up with Woodward and Maine with insights from Detroit sports media legend Terry Foster and rising star Matt Broder. Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. And after that, make sure you check out the New Holland Brewing Company Lions pregame show with Neil Rule and Sean Belegian. Sunday, 10 a.m. to noon on Woodward Sports. And for the home games, they are live at Second Best Bar in Detroit. Come join the party and come get some.
Sometimes you have to get punched in the face before you know how to respond. Dan Campbell. Fucking so poetic. I love that guy. Randall Small shouts in the super chat. He says, Dan does like the challenge. We are going to see more JMO, more blitzes, more line stunts. We may see Hooker Wildcat package.
I already read that.
Wildcat offense. Check the Paul Prince. What up, though? Welcome back to Whatever Waits Live on WorldSports.com. Meets you by Small Rax, Young Chris, Nicholas Koloff, a.k.a. whatever nickname you'd like to use. Detroit Lions roster moves. Place Carlton Davis, Khalil Dorsey, and Lee McNeil all on injury reserve. They signed Anthony Pittman, which we did report yesterday. They released Isaiah Thomas from the practice squad, because a lot of you guys, Wilson, thought he was going to be the savior. Anyway, they also signed cornerback Stanley Thomas Oliver to the practice squad. Just keep you guys up to date. I don't really have expectations for Stanley Thomas Oliver. I mean, he's on the practice squad. The guys are going to play cornerback for you. Are going to be on the team. He may get elevated in game, but he's also going to be a reserve guy. You have Kendall Vildor. You don't have Khalil Dorsey. And it's Rakestraw coming back, Emmanuel Mosley. The question, though, Spinny, and I screen recorded it, but I forgot to clip it. They asked him on the same flagship during the same interview, are we going to see Branch back down the nickel? Are we going to see Meek bumped out to the outside? And Dan Campbell said, we're going to get off the phone with you guys. We're going to go figure that out and set that in stone. Those are all conversations we had. We're going to figure out what we're going to do. What are your expectations?
I don't know if they're going to. I don't know if they're going to move other pieces around. When you look at Amik Robertson or Brian Branch, I don't know if they'll leave them or if they'll move them from their positions, because then you're mixing and matching and doing different things and moving guys around that have been comfortable in spots all year instead of just replacing the one thing you need. Because if who's available for this game, Rakestraw is not going to be available for this game. If he's not going to be available for this game, Mosley's not going to be available for this game. So you have Kendall Vildor, and would you rather have Kendall Vildor at nickel and then Amik Robertson on the outside? I think that's the only argument you can make. You're not going to move Brian Branch down and put Brandon Joseph out there and then Amik Robertson on the outside. I think you just replace the one thing that you need to the one thing you lost, and that's an outside cornerback. So I think you just put Vildor out there.
Yeah, I think,
especially for this week, before you have any of the different Swiss Army knife pieces that you have coming back, like Iffy or Mosley.
So I'm connecting dots. When I got done, I made a pretty little Christmas treat. No, I'm kidding. They re-signed Anthony Pittman to the roster. And from what I remember, like when we had Anthony Pittman, when he was playing active snaps for us before we, finished building out the roster, he played like that hybrid. He rushed to Sam more than anything else, and we played a lot more zone. And I'm thinking, without Carlton Davis, obviously I don't think you're going to ask these guys to play too much man coverage. And to be honest with you guys, if you go back, this bothered me, by the way. A lot of you guys out there just throwing, hey, AG never moves away from man coverage, so we got killed. They actually played 22 snaps in zone out of Josh Allen's 34 passing attempts. There's a majority zone in that game against the Bills in man coverage. Some of you guys just go out there and say shit. But I expect us to go back to that type of scheme. That's what Anthony Pittman was a part of. That's what Kendall Vildor was a part of. I think we're going to see a lot more zone moving forward. And I'm with you. I think Kendall Vildor is going to be out there if he comes back. And you're going to have some packages where maybe Branch steps down because he's a roamer anyway. He's a rover anyway. He does what the fuck he wants. He's a nomad out there. You have him bumped down to the nickel for those certain plays and have if he blitz as a safety. That's what I think is going to happen. Just go back to that. Because I don't think you have these guys in man coverage like that anymore without Carlton Davis.
No, I agree. Yeah, without Carlton Davis, you're severely lacking in man coverage. And you're not going to have a freak of nature quarterback that just can stand back there and run around and wait for somebody to find a pocket in the zone and hit him. Like, you're not playing Josh Allen every week. So that is something that you expect a lot more zone, expect a lot more blitzes to try to bring pressure, especially up the middle with Lee McNeil being out. They're going to have to patchwork this defense, man, flat out. When you lose pretty much your entire starting front seven, like, you're going to have to patchwork the defense, especially with your best man cornerback down now too.
And I'm really not tripping, man. I'm really not. Just because, again, I don't think last week the problem was AG. The problem was Josh Allen. That was the fucking problem.
And the running game.
Yeah. Well, the run defense, actually, that was a problem.
That was a problem.
That was definitely a problem. And that's the one part I guess I have to go back and watch, see what's going on with that one. To me, it just felt like they're spreading them out thin, taking out the outside.
Trying to limit Josh Allen's mobility, and they were just running up the middle and getting 5 yards every time.
Because they wanted to contain him.
Yeah.
So the running game, they bumped out to outside like that. It was getting us. And to be honest, I'm thinking back on the season, I know Aaron Jones got us like that a few times. I feel like that's the type of game Tony Pollard plays as well. Maybe like when we spread out like that, the run defense just ain't what it is.
I think there's more holes you got to worry about for sure.
Hell yeah, brother. Nick, what do you expect to change this defense moving forward without some of their best guys?
Yeah, to me, it's just forcing turnovers. That's how I think you're going to need to. I'm just going to be a broken record at this point until we see them actually do this. I think that's how you fix this defense. It's causing turnovers and giving your offense the ball more, and honestly just protecting the ball on offense. As cliche as it sounds, you're going to have to control the clock, put up a shit ton of points, and hopefully not give up touchdowns. I mean, it sounds so simple here, but I think you're going to have to formulate a lot of blitzes, and I think you got to rely on Kirby and Brian on the back end. You got to get aggressive up front to do that, where the quarterback starts to make mistakes to your two elite safeties in the back end.
I mean, as much as I think zone has to be the answer, a part of me is like last year, we didn't see Branch and Kirby at their best. We saw them at their best when they were able to play man. So finding some type of balance to be able to put those plays in there, because I think that's when you allow our secondary, Nick, that you're talking about, because I agree. That's how, going forward, that's how I'm expecting stops to happen defensively, is I'm expecting Kirby or Brian to make plays in the backfield. But in order to do that, you have to be able to find some way to play a little honest and allow Kirby and Brian Branch to be in those playmaking positions. I just don't know how they're going to do it, if they can even do it. But that's really where my mind goes, because what we saw last year, Kirby wasn't the same Kirby he is this year, and that's not to his fault. That's because of
the corners
what was
in front
around
of him.
him.
Yeah, and you're right.
Great point.
Shout out to Tony Corrado in the Woodward Sports Chat.
My
He
guy,
says,
Tony.
Bring back Ndamukong Suh. I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately.
Tony and I were talking about that last night. I'm a big Ndamukong stan.
Yeah.
All right. I never admitted this up publicly, but I purchased Miami Dolphins gear following his move to Miami. Everybody's hating Sue. It was like, fuck you, Sue. I still love Ndamukong Suh. I've always loved Ndamukong Suh. I think we need more of a, like I said earlier, like a pass rushing defensive tackle at this point. I feel like that's what Lean brought. Obviously, he can play the run too. And a Sue at this stage in his career, more a run guy.
Yeah, he's not going to be.
He's like almost damn near 40. But I mean, hey, I'm fucking here for it. Like, Tony was saying he's gonna revive the city, and I agree.
It's gonna be like last year. That's how the rest of the season is gonna look for the Lions. It's gonna be like last year. You need to score as many points as you possibly can and play opportunistic defense. So that's like when Nick said taking the ball away is gonna be extremely important. Justin, how you feeling?
Exactly. Echoing the same sentiment that everyone else has in the room. You're going to have to be a juggernaut offense. You're going to have to score 40 points on everyone if you want to make sure that you win games. And you're going to have Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch. It sucks that you continuously have to ask these guys to step up, but that's how you're going to get those opportunistic stops. Is you're going to need the interceptions, you're going to need the turnovers, and it's just so sad that we're at this point. But there's no time to be sad about it. You just got to get right back up off the mat, and you got to just go demolish the Bears on Sunday.
Yeah.
Got to make Caleb Williams look like me.
Got to make him look like a wiener.
Glizzy boy.
Yeah.
Ndamukong Suh played. I'm checking right now. I know he played last year for the Eagles. I'm pretty sure. No. I don't see no snaps right? for the Eagles.
Suh? No.
Yeah, was that 22? Oh, 2022 he played for the Eagles.
Yeah.
I remember we were talking about bringing him back last year even.
Yeah, so he had no snaps last year.
No, he's not playing. The Ndamukong Suh's done. He's not playing.
I mean, he'd be down to. It's just no one's giving him a call.
Yeah.
I got a question about these
I'd be down too.
I'd be down too.
Nobody's going to give me a call either.
Down as well. Oh, I'm talking about down for Suh. Not like that. Well, how much money was that?
Super chat.
20K.
What up, Nick?
I got a question about the running backs, fellas.
Okay.
When we
get back?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, let's go to break. We'll come back and we'll talk about Nick's running back question. But first, let me tell you guys about Dr. Pierce. Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and Thursdays during Ermanni and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts, Dr. Jeff Pierce, here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
The bad boys from the NFL are here. Your 2024 Detroit Lions are the hardest hitting, highest flying, trickiest playing, grittiest team in the NFL.
A dominant team.
Get all your coverage of your favorite team right here in your favorite network. Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
The countdown to kickoff is here. Your Detroit Lions are ready for another season of grit. Woodward Sports is your #1 destination for all breaking news and Lions coverage. We are Detroit's #1 sports network. We are Woodward Sports.
Do you want to know where the best pregame Lions party is for Monday night against the 49ers on December 30th? Join us at Detroit's very own second best bar located at 42 Watson Street for the ultimate fan experience. Enjoy some smooth Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey while catching the Woodward Sports pregame show only at second best bar in Detroit. Come get some.
Come get some, goddammit. Detroit Lions face the Chicago Bears this weekend.
Yes.
Talking about how we replace some of these guys on defense, how we're going to work around everything. I think we're going to go a lot more zone coverage and whatnot. Shout out to you guys. Smash the like button, be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream. Nick, you had a question before we went to break about the running back situation.
Yeah, fellas, one guy we've seen a lot of in the past is Craig Reynolds. He's filled in some spots when he's had to over the last few years. But a guy we haven't really seen too much of is Vaki, the 4th rounder. Brad Home specialty. Late in these drafts, he gets some really good players. Is Vaki one of these guys where you want him to step up, or do you guys want to see more of Craig Reynolds, who we've seen in the past?
Personally, I would like more of Vaki. I can easily see why they're probably going to go with more of Craig, because he's been a part of this system for so long. He knows the protection so well, and he is a good blitz pickup. Like that, we talked about losing that with David Montgomery is extremely vital. Craig Reynolds is good at picking up the blitz, and he knows the scheme, he knows the offense, he knows obviously Vaki does too at this point, but they're probably more comfortable with Craig Reynolds in there. But I think Vaki should be given more of a chance. The potential he has, his contact balance, we talk about it a lot, the way he hits holes and could do different things. He's a very talented runner. So we know what Craig Reynolds is.
Oh, yeah.
We know what Craig Reynolds is in this league. He's a solid running back when he's called upon, and he can do the job. We don't know what Vaki is yet. So I would like to see some of the Vaki, because that dude is a monster. But realistically, when you're looking at what these guys are going to be asked to do, it's going to be a lot of blitz pickup. It's going to be a lot of chipping and different things like that. And they probably trust Craig Reynolds with that a lot more.
The real answer, I don't know, I'll give you my answer between those two, but like Jahmyr Gibbs, bro. Like feed that man the goddamn ball. I beat it like a dead horse, but being top 5 in the league with a significantly less carries than everybody else ahead of you, like he's fucking good. He's electric. We got to get this run game going back again. And I think he's a little bit more physical than he's given credit for, too. I don't think he's the north-south guy that David Montgomery is, but give Jahmyr Gibbs the ball. David Montgomery, I think, tremendously underrated in catching the football this year. That's part of his game that I don't think we were too, I don't think we got to see a lot of it at all last year. I think him and Goff, as we've seen before, they have a good establishment. There's wide receivers. Probably the same thing with the running backs. Let Monty cook. Let him be your Alvin Kamara. By all means. Let him go off. But between those two, personally, I want Vaki. I think he has that same type of electricity. I don't want to say electricity because it didn't make it sound like he's like a burst of speed or something like that, like Jahmyr. But as you said, he doesn't go down easily. He falls forward for those extra yards. It's not in Dave Montgomery fashion. But listen to Dan Campbell speak in the past. I think they're trying to. He didn't play running back. He played safety. He played running back sparingly when they needed it to. So he still had a lot to learn about the position itself, especially at this level, because it's the highest level. And he also be asking him to do so in severe, not severe, but intense situations come playoff time. Very high leverage situations. I want Vaki, but I fully expected to be Craig Reynolds to get the majority of snaps.
I agree.
I mean, if you just look at last year, you saw a 7th-round running back contributing to a Super Bowl championship. So I want to go with Vaki. I'm with Spencer. I want to see the upside. We know what Craig is, and I have trust in Craig being in this offensive system for years, plus just the weapons that we have around him. But I want to see what Vaki can do in this situation because, like you said, we need that extra pop, especially if our best defense is our offense. Like, you need every ounce of firepower you can get on offense. And if he has any type of upside, I think you explore that, and I think it's worth that risk absolutely, because we saw that if you put a talented running back that might be raw in a good offensive system with great offensive minds and scheme and coaching, they can succeed, and they can succeed on the biggest stage and very early in their career. So to me, I think you take the swing.
I speculated at the beginning of the show because he wasn't put on injury reserve. And this is shout out to DNC ENT. Then I just hopped on Twitter and saw Woodward Sports report as well. Per Danny Rogers, Monty hopes to play again this season. And for DNC ENT, the way he delivered it, can you imagine if all the Avengers just assembled in the Super Bowl? Because the next segment, fuck it, we'll play it now. Do you have the Hutch video, or did I not send it?
No, you didn't
I'll
send it.
We'll play the next
Hutch,
segment.
Monty, Khalif, Anzalone,
all this is fucking like
they're just coming through the portal.
Big McNeil comes out there with one leg.
Josh Allen's fucking Thanos. We got everybody else on our
Where
side.
your failures brought you back to me.
I mean, goddamn.
That would be a story.
Listen, the entire thing with Dan Campbell since he's gotten Detroit has played out like
a movie,
like a 30 for 30, like a movie, if you will. It all like felt scripted, almost too good to be true. Like this guy who is former Detroit Lion, who was on the 0-16 team, who embodies the city, it's the grit mentality, right? Becomes your head coach, hits you with the all-time football coach speech. In the era where football's become, at least at the head coach NFL level, the fucking nerds, all the skinny white dudes like, oh yeah, a lot of motion here. We're gonna run the ball there.
Analytics,
analytics, analytics. You see? And then here fucking comes Dan Campbell like, yeah, we're gonna punch him in the fucking mouth. All right, we're gonna get you on 4th down, and we're gonna donkey punch it for first.
Yeah. That's true.
But then, the team starts bad. He's getting ridiculed, and he brings them back to life. Sheila Ford Hampus on the like, it's all played. That would make perfect sense.
It's Dan Campbell's just a bro with a fat chaw and who's like, get up, go for it, fuck him. God, dude, he's the
onside kick.
Yeah, fuck it. They'll never see it coming. Coach, we gotta tell them. They'll never see it coming. I love Dan Campbell, dude. I truly do. He is one of my favorite humans on the earth, and like I said it multiple times already, if anybody can get these guys motivated, if anybody can get Kendall Vildor playing like Darrelle Revis, it'd be a Dan Campbell speech. So the running back situation is loose. They're going to go with Craig Reynolds. Vaki's going to get his spot too, like Dan Campbell said. In that he said a lot of these guys are going to have they're going to have great opportunities, and Sion Vaki is going to be one of them. But if everybody can come back for the Super Bowl, that would be, dude, that would be crazy.
That would literally be an Avengers moment. On your left.
Yeah, on your left. Yeah. Is this all of them? You wanted more?
Monty fucking bust through.
Yeah.
Hutch fucking comes
Monty, Hutch.
We have one of them
Carlton.
talking about it.
Yeah, we got Aidan Hutchinson talking about his potential return this season.
I'm on track for my goal of returning for the Super Bowl. And so I keep telling all the boys when I see him in the facility, I'm like, you guys just got to get there, and I promise you, I'm gonna be back. And I tell people that. My mom was like, I remember we were talking yesterday, and she's like, but Aidan, like what if you don't get back? Like what if you can't? And I was like, there's no other way.
Oh, there's Aidan Hutchinson saying that he's on track to come back for the Super Bowl, and he's telling everybody in the locker room, just get there and I'll be back.
Bondele.
I mean, we said Bondele, Save, Bondele, Save, Bondele, Save. We were the ones saying Aidan Hudson's going to come back
we're
for
saving
the
him for the Super Bowl, baby.
And everybody in the chat, everybody on Twitter, no, you can't do that. You can't have him come back. He might be done for his career. There is no fucking goddamn way. If Aidan Hutchinson is cleared by doctors, you're going to keep that motherfucker off the field. Did you see his face? Like, he's coming back. He's going to play if the Lions make the Super Bowl. Bundle Save.
We're bundling these injured players. And we're saving them for the goddamn Super Bowl. That's the bundle.
Raise the sales in the Woodward Sports chat. He won't be worth anything, though. He'd be a liability. You don't believe that.
Come on, bro. What are we talking about?
That is just a ridiculous statement.
It wasn't until like 2 weeks ago the rest of the league caught up to him in pressures and sacks. What are we talking about?
He was the best player in the NFL through 4 weeks.
Oh, my God. And by the way, he's not just cleared like the minute he's like, yeah, you can run on that thing now.
Yeah,
like, go ahead.
He has to be ready to go.
He's going to rehab his body back. He's going to test himself. What are we doing? This can't be – this guy's unfamiliar with his game. I don't understand.
Just get there. Maybe just one snap in victory formation. No, he's going to play.
No,
And the best part about it, he doesn't have to play 35, 40 snaps.
No,
he can play 15.
Yes.
Dude. And if he wins 3 snaps, he could win you the game.
Treat him like we talked about with James Houston. 3rd and long. Just throw him in and let him do his thing. Like, you don't need much in a Super Bowl like that. Any play can be the difference in a game. So I don't see that argument. It's so dumb. Obviously, we're all under the notion that he would be cleared by doctors and by training staff to return.
Yes.
And by the way, promise you, that's one. His father's a doctor. Like, it's not. They're not gonna fucking just risk him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, his entire family.
Well, you could lose a leg.
Like,
I'm just saying, like, a doctor's like, yeah, you could lose a leg. They're like, all right, fuck it, get him out of there. Like,
I mean,
they're
he
not
might
gonna
be the type to say fuck it.
He definitely would be.
Nick, you about to say something?
But they won't let him out.
No, they wouldn't.
No, just to revert back real quick. Vlaki played safety. This guy better be able to pick up a fucking blitz. You know, he played safety last year.
Doing that for a while. Who do you want? Is your question?
Vlaki for sure. Yeah. I mean, he averaged almost 10 yards a touch in college. I think this guy could, not just help you rushing the ball when you're giving Gibbs a rest, but in the pass game as well. I think he could be used in screen plays. I think he's dynamic as all hell. I mean, you don't take him in the 4th round if you don't see him potentially being a difference maker, honestly, for this team. And he can pick up a blitz, I'm telling you straight up. Dude. He played safety. He can lay the boom a little bit. But also, Gibbs has only gotten over 20 carries twice in his career so far. He better get over 20 carries in every single game for the rest of this season.
Mm-hmm.
Man, reading that Monty news, not gonna lie, I feel like my heart smiled.
I mean, yeah. He hopes he can come back. Yeah. Is that
what
it is?
Too.
That's what David Montgomery hopes he could play this season.
I mean, they didn't put him on IR.
I mean, I hope so too.
So like, there's words, there's actions. The action, they didn't put him on IR. There's some type of expectation. Although
I think that would be more reckless than Hutchinson.
I don't know, dude.
We saw it happen with Kevin Durant when they put him out they rushed him back from his.
That's not even the same. Come on, dude.
That's what running backs do.
That guy don't even do fucking calf raises. What are we doing?
Okay.
You see Monty's legs? You see him squatting in the off season?
All right.
I have faith that these aren't fucking like whimsical moves. Like they're studied. They're the doctors in the room. They're measured. They're calculated. They're not just fucking like.
You have trust in our
12
training
minutes
staff?
left. Let's onside kick it. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I look like I know we were questioning it yesterday, and it's just because we were out of a little bit of emotion there too. But like broken jaw, that's not like a poor training staff.
Training staff let Monty back in the game in the second half after he was injured, and it turns out that he needs surgery on it after the game.
Well, no, I mean he was still playing well, but I think he went out the game after. He worsened it.
No, he came back in with it taped up, his whole knee plastered and taped.
I know, but I'm saying I think he worsened it like in the game because remember he had those couple catches in the one drive. I think it was in the 4th quarter still. Yeah. He was like running them. He just wasn't running the ball, but he was catching the ball.
If it's a tear, he's not coming back. If it's not a tear,
it's not a tear. It's sprained.
Yeah, it was a sprain, then it's possible. But that just
I've never heard of surgery.
I'm telling you, they didn't put him on IR. He's talking
agree.
like that. It's 100% possible. Something's cooking. Something's cooking.
I mean, I hope so.
And an initial report was indefinitely.
Yeah, I hope so. Let's see. Let's go to break. We'll come back and we'll talk about some more Lions. But first, let me tell you about Lady Jane's. Walk into any Lady Jane's haircuts for men today. Open 7 days a week and get a $20 haircut. Just scan that QR code in the corner right there and you can get a haircut special. Comes with a hot leather neck shave, a scalp massage, and a hot towel treatment, all for $20 from one of our talented, lovely stylists. Lady Jane's haircuts for men, open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. Lady Jane's haircuts for men. It's wicked awesome.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi experts Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
The live watch party and the post-game show at Hayes Social every single week for Lions games. Make sure you come out and join us. It's a blast. Presented by New Holland Brewing Company, Sabbath Coffee Roasters, Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza, and 1800 Tequila. So, yeah, Danny Rogers tweeted about David Montgomery. She said he told me
cute.
he wasn't put on IR today because he's working through some logistics and things could change. In terms of if there's a chance for him to play again this season, he said, I hope so. That does not give me any faith.
I have faith. You gotta have faith.
MCL
Hallelujah.
Ye of little
I
faith.
told my MCL on the dance floor. I kept it going all night.
Yeah. That makes more sense than Kevin Durant's not being a comparable situation, but you are.
I did. And Blake Griffin. One of the biggest pussies. I'm just kidding, not pussy. But Blake Griffin.
man.
I just hate the fucking trade. I'm sorry. I'll never
SGA.
like that trade.
I hate the trade. I just don't hate Blake.
Awful trade. To be honest with you,
SGA was that pick.
SGA,
Yeah.
I think that was more Tom Gores. Like the way everything else played out Tom Gores, I think that's a Tom Gores move.
What?
Getting Blake Griffin.
Oh, for sure. Everybody.
I thought it was an SVG move to save his job.
No, that was Tom Gores. We need to win right now.
Yeah.
We're going to get Blake Griffin.
And
still-
we wouldn't have taken
I can see
SGA
both.
either way.
Yeah.
I
Let's
still
be
like
honest.
SGA as a coach. Didn't like him as a
SVG.
GM.
He's talking about SGA being the pick that we traded for Blake Griffin.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the pick.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
My
we
headphones on.
wouldn't have drafted him anyway, probably.
No, we
That's a great
wouldn't have,
point.
but he was a dog.
That's
Or
a
is a
fucking
dog.
great point, man.
Shout out.
Nah, I just got sad. Nah, I mean, look, man, I'm holding out hope. I really am. I'm holding out hope for Hutch as well. I'm not going to discount these guys making these statements. They're not They're not gone without the guidance of doctors.
Mm-hmm.
I guess is the point I'm trying to get across.
Oh, for sure.
I do want to talk about the Minnesota Vikings briefly. I mentioned in the beginning of the show, we are tied. We're still ahead of them because we're the tiebreaker because we went to their house, put our dick on their coffee table, and kicked their dog. Speaking of kicking dogs, Michael Vick, new head coach of Norfolk State, shout out. Can you imagine? He's in the living room, the dog walks in. How awkward that is. I'm just saying. On the recruiting trail, I don't know. It's an interesting picture. I'd like to be a fly on the wall. But either way, the Minnesota Vikings 12-2, alongside Detroit Lions 12-2, not only vying for the NFC North, but now everyone three-way tie for that first place in the NFC. Do you think they could take it? Is it going to come down to that final game of the year, Detroit Lions versus Minnesota Vikings?
I truly do. I mean, obviously they play in Seattle. Minnesota does. That should be a win for them because it's going to be Sam Howell out there. They're going to play Green Bay. I believe is that at home?
Yes.
So they're going to have the advantage there. That should still be. That's going to be a tough game. I mean, Green Bay's a good team. They could lose that one, but regardless, it's going to come down to that last week for the NFC. Like, you're going to have to win that game if you want to win the NFC, and that's what's more important to me. I mean, obviously you can't win the NFC without winning the North, but there is a reasonable expectation that Minnesota could lose to Green Bay. I don't see Philly losing any of their remaining games. So you need to win out to get that number 1 seed in the NFC and have home field advantage.
Nick, will come down. Detroit Lions versus your
Gino's
Minnesota
expected
Vikings.
to play, says Steve Lehman.
Yeah, I mean,
Still
you
don't
saw
think
the
they will.
Vikings go into Lambeau and turn Jordan Love over multiple times in that game. Like, the Vikings are a good team, don't get me wrong, but honestly, I feel super confident because this game for the Lions is at home. And I don't believe Sam Darnold is an elite quarterback like you saw in Josh Allen. So I do believe the Lions are still going to win the North. Obviously, the sky was falling a little bit yesterday, but the sky's falling to me when it comes to the Super Bowl and going up against some of those elite quarterbacks, which I don't believe Sam Darnold is. So I think we'll be fine against the Vikings. That game's at home. Dan Campbell will have the boys ready, even if it is this 7th string defense that we're putting together. We're going to be just fine against my Vikings.
They'll beat the Vikings. I'm not worried about them losing any of these 3 games. These are 3 very winnable games, and your offense is going to be able to carry you in these 3 games. Well, like you said, it's when you get into the playoffs.
The Minnesota Vikings are 12-2, and their opponents have a combined record of 85 and 111. That is the sixth lowest strength of victory in the NFC, with 3 of those teams lower than them already being eliminated from the playoffs. Just so some context.
Yeah, they haven't played a lot of good teams.
It's like we won the division. We play other division winners, meaning good teams. They didn't win the division. They came. I think they finished just behind the Bears,
3rd or 4th,
or just ahead of the Bears last year. And yeah, that's who they're facing. That caliber of competition. Chris, what were you about to say?
I was just checking with you. I'm actually doing the research myself right now, but we would, if the Eagles went out, we would have it over them, right?
Yes. If we went out, we have the number 1 seed in the NFC.
Yeah, because we common opponents. We both lost to the Bucs. We both beat the Packers, but we beat the Packers twice.
Okay.
Yeah, Minnesota. We got to beat them, and I think we can. I'm not too scared of them, to be honest with you. I'm not scared of them at all, really. I think what they got to offer defensively is a blitz, and JG with a healthy offense.
Carve up a blitz.
He's carving up that blitz.
Yeah.
He's year 3.5 in this offense. He knows where everybody is. That's why he's having the best year of his career.
Are you at all worried about? I mean, this Vikings offense, especially this receiving core, has looked very good. Are you worried about that with the secondary?
Good point.
Going forward in that final game.
Yes and no.
I mean,
I think I'm more concerned that we won't have a pass rush in those situations, that they'll have time to get open. But to be honest with you, we've seen the Vikings and Justin Jefferson for the past 3 years without a secondary.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson broke the single game passing or receiving record against the Lions, and we won that game. So, no, I'm not concerned about these 3 remaining games.
As long as we can run the ball,
we will be able to outscore the teams we play. At the very least, we'll be able to outscore these 3 remaining teams. So that's what you got to worry about going forward. And then hopefully you get Anzo, hopefully Iffy, Rakestraw, Mosley. Dude, if Rakestraw and Iffy and Mosley can be healthy going forward, it makes me a lot more comfortable with our secondary. But we'll figure it out. We got to see who can play and who's going to be healthy when.
As long as we run the ball, I'm not too concerned about them. They'll go off. I guess what's new about them, and I don't know if he played. Was he healthy for the time we played them? Jordan Addison? No, he wasn't.
Hawk was not in either.
Hawk was not in.
Okay, that actually does change things.
TJ Hawkinson is.
Hawk and Addison, more so Addison, to be honest with you. He's been fucking going stupid as of late.
Yeah. Burn in the Woodward Sports chat says the Vikings haven't played a team with a winning record since September. Jordan Love just came off of an injury in that game. They're peaking right now. I
really think that Jordan Love and the Packers should beat them.
Yeah, I think they're going to. I think the Packers are going to beat the Vikings. The Seahawks, now that I know if Geno Smith plays, the Seahawks got a good chance to at home as well. But we'll see.
I mean,
that's this week?
Yeah.
Hopefully Kenneth Walker's back.
Yeah.
Although Charbonnet's been doing pretty.
And Seattle's fighting for their playoff live. That division is weird. So
that division is weird. Between them and the NFC South. It's weird. The NFC South I look at it as bad, but the NFC West, I'm like, they're all still kind of good. We're in the same situations.
Rams are now favorites in that division, -175.
My parlay's alive, boys.
I wouldn't.
Also, updated odds on the NFC North. Lions -290, Vikings +220. So we've been keeping track. They've been creeping closer.
Justin, you've been waiting all day to pay your dues. You're in the hot dog suit. How you feel about the Minnesota Vikings?
They're frauds. I have no worries about the Vikings. They got a good, nice offensive cast, but when push comes to shove, they have Sam Darnold at quarterback, and I envision a Kirby Joseph interception to seal up the game.
Yeah. I gave you guys stats of the opponents, man. The record, 85 and 111. It's not great. That means they beat up on a lot of bad teams. And I look at the coaching staff. We talked about it with the Commanders. You have a brilliant offensive mind in KOC, Kevin O'Connell. And you also have a brilliant defensive mind, and his name escapes me at the moment. God damn it.
Shane Waldron?
No, Brian Flores.
Oh, Brian Flores.
Brian Flores. I think it's a perfect marriage because KOC can focus supremely on the offense. Hey, I got the offense side of the ball. And you have a guy who used to be a former head coach and a Super Bowl winning defensive coordinator, Brian Flores. The defense is yours. And so it's a perfect marriage over there. But like I said, they've been beating up on a lot of bad teams. We went there, first game without Hutch. We lost Pascal halfway through. The Addison and Hawk does change it to where I'm not willing to – we can beat them. I'll say that. I'm not going to make a prediction right now, obviously, but Addison and Hawk definitely makes it a little bit fucking tougher.
Yeah. What worries me a little bit about this Vikings team as opposed to last year, particularly given the circumstance of our secondary, is the fact that I watched them for a game just triple cover Jefferson and be like, somebody else beat us.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay. And they did. And they went to Addison. They went to Hutchinson. They both had monster games. So the fact that they're not just stubbornly going to die on the hill of we're throwing it to Justin Jefferson every time, that does worry me that they're like a little bit okay with winning different ways.
And Minutes in the Woodward Sports chat says Addison played versus us. I thought he did too. I know Hawkinson didn't, but I thought
think
Addison played in that game.
I think Addison did it, just not Hawk.
So
they lost an offensive lineman last night too. One of the starters.
Yeah.
I don't remember who it was off the top of my head. I gotta look that up.
Yeah, it's Tavon Burns says Addison a problem. Didn't believe in him coming out. He's in a very good situation when you got Justin Jefferson running around with 3 guys on him.
He's
all
also
game.
very good.
He's very good, but I mean,
Justin Jefferson's had those sidekicks. None of them done what Addison's done. To be fair.
Adam Thielen did it.
Adam Thielen's also very good.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it a lot easier when you have a guy that's getting triple covered and running around.
He's
at like 700-something yards on the season. He's having a good year.
I think he's like 771.
Yeah.
And he did play. Actually, I got his numbers right here. He did play against Detroit. He had 4 targets, 3 receptions for 66 yards.
Yeah.
Averaging 16 yards per catch. And, 771, 7 touchdowns.
Hawkinson is the one that is concerning because of how the tight ends and running backs were abusing us in that game against the Buffalo Bills, so you have to be careful with him.
Yeah, but even because I watched tape, I sent the videos in the chat. I still continue to watch it all night. A lot of this shit, we had shit locked down. That's why Allen had to fucking roam out and make something happen.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold, I guess, can do that to a certain extent.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be able to get to Sam Darnold then.
Yeah, but it's not to the caliber of Josh Allen.
No,
you know what I'm saying? So
obviously not. But I would say T.J. Hawkinson's better than Dawson Knox.
Yeah, for sure.
So
welcome aboard.
Yeah.
This is your victory lap.
I was defending T.J. Hawkinson for no reason for the longest. But yeah,
it's gonna be a great
banger,
game.
bro.
It's 2 of the best teams in the NFC. They're gonna be going up against it at the end of the year to maybe decide the division, maybe decide the conference. So we'll see what happens. It's gonna be fun. But you gotta take care of business and schwack the Bears in Chicago this week.
Hey man, speaking of take care of business, Chris, why don't you tell us about the 1800 tequila?
1800 Tequila is the smoothest tequila, and they have partnered with your Detroit Lions and Woodward Sports to do the Woodward Sports Lions watch parties live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township. Make sure you are checking out the Lions every single game day on Woodward Sports on the YouTube channel, or if you're in person, pull up to Hayes Social. And when you get 1800 Tequila, make sure you get the custom-made Lions bottle. 1800 Tequila, the smoothest tequila in the game. When you are drinking this, please drink responsibly.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Get energized for the holidays during the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Now through December 20th, join for $1 down, $15 a month. And recharge this holiday season and beyond in the clean and spacious judgment-free zone, filled with equipment for every workout. Stay motivated with free fitness training and lots more. Celebrate the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Join for $1 down, $15 a month. Hurry! Offer ends December 20th.
Congratulations to the real coach of the year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Sarokis! Crispy Chicken and Pizza has the 7 best flavors of chicken wings there is in the state of Michigan. Make sure you guys go visit Sarokis.com to find one near you. It's Sarokis Crispy Chicken and Pizza.
Speaking of which,
Shogun
Season 2 and 3
Shogun Season 2. I did see that.
Yeah.
I could have swore someone said it was like the one and done type of thing.
It is.
But it did so well.
There's no more story.
Just making shit up.
It's going to be original content.
That's fine.
Could go terrible like Game of Thrones, but we'll see.
I'm out on it.
Yeah, to me, I was thinking back on it, like it was good and it kept my interest, but
Like his old girl caught.
old girl got kept.
Yeah, she was.
But what if
they'll find an equally as hot girl?
Jason Pierre, I don't
same.
understand the Jason Pierre-Paul stuff and that happened in the chat right now. My man's been out of the league for 2 years now. He plays defensive end. We're looking for a defensive tackle. Am I tripping, guys?
No, I don't think you're tripping. I think people just put names out there that they've heard before.
I loved him in his prime. Even if he lost the fingers, he was still a dog. But same, and I love Dominic Sue even more than I love Jason Pierre-Paul.
Yeah, the defense. I was looking at this yesterday, and defensive tackle free agents. Where you're looking at guys that could still be signed. You got Fletcher Cox still out there. Quentin Jefferson.
He retired though, didn't he?
Yeah, but you can still resign.
Yeah, all right.
Fucking Brett Favre did it like 4 times.
That's fair.
Quentin Jefferson, a guy that Michigan fans will know, Chris Wormley.
Gross name.
Not looking great, man. There's not.
Yeah.
That's like the best. Fletcher Cox is by far the best. He's 34.
I thought he was older.
Hassan Ridgeway. No, there's
no.
You're not.
While we're throwing out names, what's Gerald McCoy up to?
Gerald McCoy.
He's doing NFL Network.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
They're gonna go with who they got. Maybe they sign a guy off a practice squad for depth.
I'll take Gerald McCoy.
Expect a lot of Levi Onwuzurike and expect a lot of Pat O'Connor. Hopefully, Broderick Martin can get out of bed or whatever's going on with him. I have no idea.
He's just not good enough. He's very
healthy
much
scratch. Just healthy scratch.
Healthy scratch.
With all these injuries?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean,
Bohanna is on Seattle's practice squad. Said Shift God. That could be something. That could be something.
I like Bohanna.
He played well.
I had no issue with Bohanna.
No.
I remember getting ripped for my Broderick Martin takes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come on. People just don't know. They don't know better. For whatever reason. I'm trying to make this into...
Nobody likes Josh Pascal except me.
Everybody likes
obviously
Josh
Dave Campbell and
Yeah.
the defensive coaches like him pretty much because he's a starter.
I've been preaching Josh Pascal's success for
Is Yannick
all season.
Ngakoue still available?
I think so. But again, he's an edge rusher.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Fletcher Cox, Brian Moan, no clue.
Kaminsky. When could Kaminsky come back?
Jordan Phillips, free agent?
I think he tore
he won't be back till the playoffs. That's another one I'll give him.
Kaminsky?
Yeah. That was
Commish?
He was already out. He's already like labeled out for the season. Everyone keeps saying his name. Like, brother,
No.
that was already news before the season started that he's out until the playoffs.
It was it a torn ACL?
Some CL. Huh? I don't remember
One of the
which one.
CLs.
Look it up.
We could use James Houston right now. No, we couldn't.
Guys, the Lee McNeil plays defensive tackle. Why do we keep saying defensive ends?
I don't know.
While we're doing pipe dreams, I mean, that'd be so sick if you could just throw Mason Graham right out there in the middle.
Oh,
God.
dude.
Well, yeah, that would be great.
That'd be fucking
He's going to be a
sick.
top 5 pick.
Super Bowl for sure.
Yeah.
Question: How do you
MCL says Steve Wilds for Kaminsky.
It's probably contract. I was gonna ask you why don't people bypass the draft and just go where they want? Is there a way around it?
Yeah, no, you can't do that.
No, you just can't.
Can't
do
just
it.
go play in Canada for like a year.
You have to take a year. Yeah, you can do that. I think.
Dissociate yourself from the NCAA.
Yeah.
Mason Graham.
But
Sheila.
then you don't get paid as much as you would if you were a top 5 pick in the NFL draft.
Just messing around.
Oh man,
just messing around.
That's not gonna happen.
That's not gonna happen. I'm just saying, like, why can't
Hey,
it?
Mason Graham, go play for Toronto for a year, and then we'll sign you. Like,
Not even that. Just I don't know. However, you could drop yourself out from the where you'd be eligible to just be picked up.
Yeah, it can't happen, but god damn, that'd be nice if it could.
'Cause why don't that happen more often? There's something stopping it. I'm curious what it is.
It's like the way it's set up.
Keys
it's
to
gonna be a
wisdom in
top
the
5
Woodward
pick.
Sports
Hopefully
Chat
not to the
says,
Bears.
Yeah.
I saw something saying the 49ers were cutting a starting RB. Anything there? No. The 49ers are on their 5th running back.
Yeah,
So,
I don't think
they're
they
cutting
have.
practice squad. Like they're cutting, what's his name? Jamar Jefferson's. So now they're probably not going to pick him up.
They also need running backs.
I did look at the free agent running back list. Just a teaser. They're not going to sign anybody off it. They're good with the guys they got in house, but Melvin Gordon and
Rip.
What was his name? Oh my God.
Patchy.
Latavius Murray were 2 names that stood out to me.
Oh, dude,
Oh,
no
God.
Latavius Murray's 34 years
He's
old.
been
I
Rip.
mean, he had like 700 yards for the Bills last year.
My computer's going wacky.
We giving Todd Gurley a go too?
No, Todd Gurley is dead.
All of them are.
Rip.
Latavius Murray last year for the Bills had, where was it? I was just looking at it last night. They're not going to sign any of these guys. They don't need a running back.
No, they're not. No.
But last year for the Bills, Latavius Murray had 300 yards on 79 attempts.
Do we have any practice squad running backs?
And he had 4 touchdowns. So it's not like he hasn't been in the league for 4 years.
Can you pull up the Lions full roster?
What's Leonard Fournette
Who was
doing?
the running back we cut in preseason?
Leonard Fournette's dodging some Diddy allegations.
Leonard Fournette is dodging Diddy allegations.
He was for some reason
he was
at the
always
billionaire
there.
black.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah.
I talked about it with Neil. I was like, whenever you look at those videos, it's always like Jay-Z, Diddy, Nas, and then Leonard Fournette. It's like, why are you there? He does not fit in with that tax bracket, but hey. Unless he made a shit ton of money under the table in the Bayou, which is quite possible.
Trying to get our practice squad running backs. So currently has roster Jameer Gibbs, David Montgomery, Craig Reynolds, Sione Vaki. That's it. Yeah, they might pick up a running back actually.
Maybe it's Latavius Murray.
Maybe.
Come home.
But we're good anyway. I mean, Reynolds.
No, they're fine.
Vaki, I don't think we're making any running back moves until we find out what's going on with Monty for sure. Because he's not on IR quite yet. But I got faith in Detroit Lions making the playoffs. Obviously, we're already in the playoffs, but I still think we're vying for the number 1 seed, and I still think we have a shot to make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, there's a very good chance. Like you said, when you get in the playoffs, anything is possible. And if you have that home field advantage, which I believe they will, because I think they're going to win these last 3 games of the regular season, anything is possible.
So given
but it comes very, very imperative on the playoffs. Obviously, it's win and go home. So small, little things that a 3rd string or 4th string defender could be your season.
Given the context, and I know it's a lengthy list of our injury roster here, but if you could pick a couple that have a realistic shot at coming back at some point in the playoffs, what's that group of guys left that gives you that confidence to be like, okay, no, like we are back to like Super Bowl favorites, or does that not exist for you?
No, I don't think it exists.
Given
because
all
Lee McNeil's not coming back, Aidan Hutchinson's not coming back until the Super Bowl at the very least.
Right.
And I mean, Anzalone is
so that collection of Anzalone.
Yeah, it's all the stars that you have injured.
Yeah.
If all those guys come back, then yeah, for sure you're good to go. But more than likely, you might get 2 of them back.
I think Anz's come back for sure.
Yeah.
He may even come back for that Vikings game, which we're gonna need him. David Long had a good game last night too. I was watching back that tape.
Yeah.
Your boy, I remember seeing it during the game, but I didn't know if it was like a bad pass or what. He actually Jack.
Tipped it?
Yeah, actually had a tip on that one.
Yeah.
We'll be straight, man. Again, not every quarterback's gonna be Josh Allen. We're still gonna be a very, very, very good football team.
Yeah,
guys.
but you might run into Josh Allen.
This team, Jack Campbell wasn't what he was. Jesus, what the hell am I trying to say? Last year was the version of Jack Campbell that we have this year.
No, for sure.
We've seen this team win games, be competitive with a lot worse roster. I still think we're a better roster than we were last year. Actually, no, because you don't have Aidan Hutchinson. But regardless, I think we're all around, though. I think more ready to go than people are giving us credit for.
I think they're pretty similar now with the injuries to what they were last year.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same.
I mean, the only thing I'm pushing back on is the Hutch thing, because you did have Hutch last year.
Yeah, you don't have Hutch. You don't have Carlton Davis.
Yeah.
You're out there with Terrion and Kendall Vilder as your starting corners, and Josh Pascal and Zadarius Smith as your starting defensive ends.
But as a plus, you don't have Cam Sutton.
Zadarius Smith, though, I think he lost a step. No, he's 3rd in the league in pressure since he's gotten here. He is a little bit older. I did see that, the 43% snaps.
Yeah.
I think there's more. I think maybe one of the media members that are there with Dan Campbell need to ask that question. I'll maybe reach out to John or something like that. I don't know why no one has asked that yet, but I think it's more so a scheme thing than anything else. Or maybe he had an injury himself going on. You don't know. We'll find out practice.
We'll figure it out, yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised if anybody gets injured at this point.
Yeah.
But
speaking of injuries, we'll get to it when we get back. Another injury we got to talk about in Detroit. But first, tell us about Caesar Sportsbook.
I will tell you about Caesar Sportsbook. Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Your first bet up to $1,000 can be risk-free if you use code word Woodward1000 and scan that QR code. Your bet up to $1,000, you'll get it back if it doesn't hit in bonus bets. Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports.
And when you take that winning, go to woodwardsports.com, click that shop tab today, get yourself some brand new merch, hoodies, tees, hats, all that guaranteed to turn heads. So head on over to woodwardsports.com by clicking that shop tab today and get yourself some Detroit merch.
I love Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The Super Bowl parade in Detroit will be one for the record books. Detroit just does it different. Woodward Sports, your official Super Bowl or Bust Lions network.
New Holland Brewing Company and their taller long drink is the best choice when you want to start your game day off right. It is delicious, gin-based, and grapefruit puree cocktail. Made here in Michigan. So support local and just enjoy the best drink you can with taller long drink from New Holland Brewing Company.
Yo, Eazy D, bro, you be saying the craziest shit. I'm not gonna lie.
He does.
Just let Z and Muhammad go. What do we?
I think he means.
Oh, let them go.
Let them go. Like.
Okay.
Let them eat.
Okay. I was gonna say, what the lovely mother f.
I saw that too, but before he said that, he said move Pascal back inside with Reader.
Okay.
Which I could see that. You could see that happening as well. Levi is probably going to be starting next week. Or Pat O'Connor.
Yeah. Detroit injuries continue on. Well, maybe not. Last night, Jaden Ivey inactive for the Detroit Pistons. However, they started Asar Thompson and still picked up the dub. Cade Cunningham is 6th triple-double of the year. 18 assists. All I fucking wanted was some goddamn shooters.
Yeah,
got it.
It was impressive. You saw Tim Hardaway Jr. and Malik Beasley knocking down a lot
what he
of
did
shots.
in OT,
Yeah.
3 straight.
Yeah.
Like he just turned up the sliders. Like fuck this.
Tim Hardaway Jr. started wetting that bitch, and Cade Cunningham has been playing like an all-NBA type player so far this year. He has been under 5 turnovers in his past 3 games, which is something you love to see. He has been playing lights out. His pull-up, his shooting off the dribble is much improved. Obviously, he's been a great defender his whole career, and you're really seeing that now with his clutch time blocks and different things like that with these advanced statistics. So shout out to Cade Cunningham for going out there and putting the team on his back again. And Asar Thompson having a great game as well. The easiest passes you'll ever see. That's why I was so happy to have Asar back, because just his IQ and when he knows to cut and get to the basket with his athleticism, those are easy buckets for Cade to just dish it to him. How many just wide open dunks did Asar Thompson have last night? It was great to watch.
I think there's a reason Cade Cunningham had a season high in assists, or a career high in assists, excuse me. And that is partially because of what you said. It's the shooters mainly, but it's also Asar being able to operate. And that's what I've said about Asar. I mean, he did late in the fourth quarter take a 3 that, yes, it would have been very great if it would have went in, because then you wouldn't have went to overtime. But ultimately, he still finds ways to be more additive than he was last year because of the fact that you have that spacing in Malik Beasley, in Tim Hardaway, and Cade around Asar. So, I mean, look, there's not much to say other than Cade Cunningham. You give him better talent, you get better results. That's just what it is. He's playing as one of the best players. I saw a couple weeks ago he was ranked 45th in the NBA. That is not true. He is playing like a top. He is playing like a top 20 player easily in this game, and on nights he can play like a top 10 player in this league the way he's playing right now. So, and that's only going to get better with adding good pieces around him, because that's the type of player Cade is. Cade amplifies what's good around him. So I think you need to. They saw it. They made those moves for roster cuts. I want to see what they do with that extra money.
Yeah, having shooters like Malik Beasley and Tim Hardaway out there, having rim runners and just athletic freaks in Ron Holland and Asar Thompson just give him easy opportunities for assists. And he's drawing so much attention now because his shot off the dribble, we saw him knocking down deep twos a lot in his first couple years.
Magician.
But now he's been stepping back a little bit, and he's been hitting three-pointers at an exceptional clip. So they have to pay attention to that. They have to attack that. And he has been dissecting people off of the dribble, getting to the basket. So he is seeing a lot of double teams, and the best facet of his game is his facilitating and his playmaking. So having those guys out there that know when to cut or are just catch and shoot automatically makes his life so much easier than having Boyan and Alec Burks and all those guys out there that would catch the ball and pump fake and then take a uncontested step back instead of just catching and shooting it.
Hard pass.
It's good to see these young guys growing together with the veterans mixed in there. Like Malik Beasley, he knows what he is.
Yeah.
The man is a gun for hire, and he has come in here, and he is one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA this year.
What a great sign.
Yeah, he's had 7+ three-pointers in like 5 different games this year.
I don't understand why no contender wanted to pay that man.
Does not make sense. He plays defense, and he shoots the blood out of the ball.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, not unfortunate because I want to keep him. I hope we keep him because it's our first breath of right.
I don't know.
They got to start rallying off some wins to not trade him, but I think they can do that right now. I think Utah's coming into town.
Yeah, they're
gotta
playing
win at home.
They're playing at a 32-win clip right now, so they're playing as a team that could be a fringe play-in team. So you're right. I mean, simply put, we've been talking about football all day. Cade Cunningham has been put in a position where he is quarterbacking the offense, and we are getting good results. You give this man the right weapons, and you will get good results. So I like this. This is a step in the right direction. Now I want to see how Trajan Langdon goes out and gets additional assets to make Cade's life even better, because I think you're going to see even better results as that talent improves.
Speaking of that real quick, Eazy, I know where you're at with this, and obviously we didn't see him, his running mate in the backcourt last night because he was injured. Do you guys think this is the season where the Detroit Pistons finally move off Jaden Ivey? And do you guys think they should?
No, I don't think they should, and I don't think they will. But we've seen now with the shooters and the cutter lineup, like having 2 shooters out there on the floor and then having a guy like Asar Thompson or Ron Holland, who is the best athlete on the floor at all times, it makes things a lot easy for Cade when he can just run a pick and roll. You have 2 knockdown shooters and a guy who's an explosive freak at getting to the rim. But no, they're not going to give up on Jaden Ivey yet.
I don't think it's given. I guess maybe it would be giving him up on him. But
if you can still get a return that helps your team
it's
win
weird
games.
It's Minnesota that owns our pick now, right?
New York.
I thought New York, but New York gave it to Minnesota.
Yeah, for
yes.
We don't need a.
So
we don't need a pick if we get to the.
Because we have that we have that extra roster spot. I still feel like we're in a spot where we might mini tank, so they could build this the way they want to. I mean, it's kind of what's happening right now. It's naturally. Let's be real about it, Nick. They're not at 500 or above 500. I don't see them making a move to win games this year. Am I tripping on that? I
don't think they'll buy at the deadline. I would agree with that.
That's why I think you have the open roster spot. That's why you have the extra cash, so you could be that third party.
Right.
I don't see them grabbing anybody to win games, but I could see if the Ivies. I'm not disrespecting Jaden Ivey, but if someone's calling for him,
there could be that rare, very rare, and not on this level, but there could be that Halliburton-Sabonis trade that floats out there where it's it works for both teams. It makes you better in the short term and the long term. Those trades are very rare. They're hard to find, but that's what Trajan has set up this team for, is to have the flexibility to be able to go either way at the deadline, to either buy or sell or find that middle ground trade that they can do to improve this roster. But I think it comes down to, with Ivy, just temper the expectations. If you're still looking at him as the number 2 of a team that's going to win a championship or win multiple playoff rounds, that I think is foolish talk. But can he be a good player on this team going forward? Yes. But if a team wants to give you, hey, franchise cornerstone is Jaden Ivey package, you take that.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
But ultimately, I think if you're looking at him
I don't think
as
you get
a
offered
6-man,
that,
as a 6-man, if you're looking at him as a 6-man or a starter, interchangeable, not the second or third best player on your team, then I think you can keep him because there's room for him and Cade to work in that situation. You just need the other pieces around him. So if somebody else on the market values him like that, you make that flip. But otherwise, you let it play out, man. He's young.
Yeah, you definitely, if somebody offers you a deal you can't refuse, you can't refuse it, but you're not going to get a deal you can't refuse for Jaden Ivey.
I mean, you never.
If we think of him like this, what do you think the rest of the NBA thinks of him?
Well, I mean, a deal you can't refuse, I don't think it's like even much. Like,
yeah.
What's a deal you can't refuse?
If you offered a couple firsts, is your team is going to be like within the lottery or a first?
Two
your
firsts.
Team going to be in the lottery?
2 lottery firsts.
All day. You wouldn't?
I probably would.
Yeah.
I'm tired of this young build, though. I think they should keep these guys. What are you going to trade Malik Beasley for? A second-round pick? Like, are we doing this again, fellas? Like, I think it is more valuable to fight to get into the play-in than getting, a chance at a 1% chance that you're not going to get at Cooper Flag.
If the Pistons make a trade this season,
holy shit, we got Cooper Flag.
I would expect
would
expect it to be like
that'd be great.
A swap.
You get your fucking Great White, dude. You'd be
like
all about that.
Swapping with another bad team.
I actually have not seen him play much. But
Like I've seen projected trades to the Wizards to get Jordan Poole and Jonas Valanciunas for different guys.
Actually, nah, fuck Jordan.
Would you trade him for Vucevic? Straight up.
Ivy?
Jaden Ivey for Vucevic.
You got to throw some cheese on that. Like, give me a couple second rounders or something.
That's some moldy bread right there.
Yeah. All due respect to Vucevic, I like him. I respect his game. I think a stretch 5 that would tremendously help us out in the scheme of things.
Cade?
But like value for value, I'm giving you a kid that could maybe be something.
That's what I'm
saying. For an aging guy that's, let's be real about it. Big men, they don't last long.
And Nick, to go to your point, I'm with you. Like, I don't necessarily want to get younger and get draft picks and capital, but we have to be real about it. This is a new regime, and with that new regime, they did not draft these players. And we've seen these players on a roster together, and guess what? Unless you have a lot of great talent around it, it's not going to work. We don't know if Jalen Duren is a long-term starting 5. We don't know about Asar and Holland long-term. We don't know about Ivy long-term. So, you know what? We may have to, in a sense, take these young assets while they still are assets and repile, restock, retool, like get more draft picks and let a guy in Trajan make the decision who wasn't a part of this last regime and see what he can do. I mean, we all liked Bobby Klippman, right? So
he went off last night too.
I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad at them doing. Yeah, he had that highlight crossover too, but I'm not mad at them, restocking and retooling Ivy for assets. I get what you're saying. You want to get better. You want to get more talented players.
You got to re-sign him after next year.
Yeah.
That's the other thing too with Jaden Ivey.
Yeah. And players in the NBA get paid on potential. They do not get paid on results.
Speaking of results, 39% from Cade. That's what I've been most impressed with. 3-point shooting. It's honestly standing out in a big way. And obviously, as much as I wanted to hate on Asar for breaking that wide open 3 when he could have put the game away, he's shooting 31% right now. And that is everything that I could have asked for. If you would have told me Asar shooting over 30%, it's not on a big number here.
Yeah,
but,
I think
Asar shooting 31%.
That'd be great if he could keep that the rest of the season.
Beautiful.
I think there are 3 players that this team is tied to long term, and it's Cade Cunningham, Asar Thompson, and Ron Holland.
Yeah,
I think those are the only players on this team that this regime is tied to long term.
That's the only one.
Everybody else is expendable. Everybody else could be gone or moved around in different spots.
You knew JB Bickerstaff, the second Asar got healthy, was just going to find a way to get him minutes because that's his type of player. So I love what Asar can be. You guys know that long term. I'm very high on him.
Man, that's so impressive. I didn't know he'd be able to do it.
Yep.
Well, it's like 5. It's his 5th game, I think.
Yeah, that's fair.
Shout out, hey man, that shooting coach, that guru.
Yeah, Fred Vincent.
Fred Vincent. Sorry,
would you?
Gabe Vincent. That's NBA.
Maybe we can talk about this to come back from break. But like, would you? And I get it. I'm the Ivy hater. I get it. Would you start Asar over Ivy moving forward? Is that like a conversation you're willing to have?
Yeah. So wait. So okay, we'll do that after break.
Actually,
yeah.
Let me talk about Mark White.
Yeah. Remember when Tobias Harris was our savior, chat?
Mark White.
I've been killed on Twitter, Pistons Twitter, for 2 things. 1, Jaden Ivey. I think I ended up being right on that one. 2, Tobias Harris.
I mean, yeah.
I think we're going to be right on that one, too.
I said Tobias Harris isn't that much of an upgrade, and I was called an idiot. So
a madman.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it. You guys been watching losing basketball. These 12-year-olds on Twitter, all you've known is losing basketball. You're going to fucking tell me? Fuck me? What the fuck are you about to hit?
Tell them where to buy a new home.
Oh, listen, man. My guy Mark White's going to get you right. He's a fellow Detroit Lions fan and the guy to help you purchase your new home. Save up to $5,000 in the cost of that new home. Give him a call today, 248-290-8242, or visit MarkWhiteSells.com.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Are you overdue for a new car? Beat the holiday rush and get an amazing deal from Les Stanford Chevrolet. Right now, a Blazer EV 2LT with all-wheel drive is only $149 per month, or check out the Equinox EV LT for $169 per month. Get to Les Stanford today and click on the QR code on the screen to check out their massive inventory. Don't forget, Les Stanford has Cadillac, Buick, and GMC as well. Les Stanford in Dearborn and Ferndale, LesStanford.com.
What up, though? Welcome back. We're on the way to live on sports.com. And boy, Easy Joe by some more Rax. Young Chris, Crash Out, Call Off, be a friend, tell a friend, and share the stream. We're talking Detroit Pistons. On a good Detroit Pistons topic, to be honest with you. And we were asked a question before we went to break that I completely forgot.
The lineup. You proposed the idea of Ivy being benched. Easy proposed the idea of benching Ivy for Asar. So in that, you're starting Hardaway and Malik with Cade, and then
you have a defender out there too.
Yeah,
who's shooting 30% from three? I'm getting 5 games.
I kind of like. I don't hate that lineup. I think that's a good closing lineup, but I think you like the idea of having Beasley and Hardaway split, so that way the bench units kind of have some shooting, and then you see who the hot hand is.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree with that.
You need a shooter coming off the bench as well, and Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham have been playing well together when they've been out there this year. So it's not like that hasn't worked. They got a win without him, which is impressive, but they won 10 games with him starting. So
undefeated without him.
It's something you got to think about, but no, I don't think you sit him. I think like you said, Chris, having Ivy and Cade staggered, it should for sure be a thing.
Which they've done.
You should let Ivy run the offense, but there's been situations where they've done that and that leads just disappear, unfortunately, because of the defensive scheme you're looking at with them out there. Cade is so important when it comes to defensively and running the offense, but you give him a little spurt here and there running the team, and then when, like Chris said, when you're closing, you decide who's the hot hand between Beasley and Hardaway.
Or if they both got it. But that's the thing about Beasley and Hardaway. The reason why they didn't have a job before the Detroit Pistons this season was because of the fact that these guys are streaky shooters. Like Tim Hardaway, remember when he came back? Yeah, remember when he came back from his injury? He was shooting abysmal. Before it, he was shooting the lights out. Tim Hardaway had a great game last night, right? He closed out that game. He helped us get the win.
Crazy.
But he could very well next game go 1 for 5 from 3. Like that's just the nature of them. That's why you keep one of them. That's why you keep one of them bench, and I think Beasley has earned the start over Hardaway in that sense. And you see if Hardaway's got it going, and if he does, and Beasley does, then you close with 2 excellent shooters, Cade Cunningham, Asar playing great defense. Like that's a very good lineup. But I think you allow yourself that malleability to stagger Ivy and Cade better and to space out the shooting and evaluate who has a high hand, because it is a game-to-game basis with these guys.
So you saw the defense kind of like let Asar, kind of wide open in the corner. They didn't trust that he's going to make that shot late, and he didn't make that shot late. We talk about the upgraded 3-point percentage. Do you guys trust?
I hate Ivy more? Or does Nick hate Asar more?
No, do you
Nick
trust
hates Asar more for sure.
Not a chance. Do you trust him in that spot though? Like to close out the game in the corner if they're going to give him that shot?
Yeah, because what he does on the other side of the ball is extremely important.
4 steals last night.
Yeah, he is the best defender on the team, and it's not close. So, yeah, you'd like to have him closing games.
Yes.
Talk about one of those shooters real quick, Chris. Sasser's been playing phenomenal as well. He's been knocking down a lot of shots. I'd like to see a little bit more Sasser, especially if Ivy's going to be hurt. He's going to get more run. But even with Ivy back, I think Sasser's been adding a lot of shot making to this team.
Absolutely. You need all the shooting you can get, all the spacing you get, because, again, you have guys like Asar and Holland who have played well in their positions, but you need to surround them during Stu with spacing. Like, you just do. You need shooters around non-spacing players, and those are what those 4 names are that I mentioned. So you need that. And quickly, I do want to say the whole Paul Reed thing, because I found an excellent tweet. Shout out to Keith Smith explaining and breaking it down. So basically what they did when they cut and re-signed Paul Reed is that they freed up $4.4 million in cap space while keeping him on the roster. So that's all that was to just allow them more flexibility. They have now $14 million in cap space to work with at the deadline versus 10.5. So it was just a smart, sneaky roster move. They knew nobody was going to pick up Paul Reed at that price tag, so he had, I think, an X amount of money guaranteed by a certain date. So they cut him and then brought him back and saved themselves $4 million, and which could be a difference in getting a good player at the deadline.
Could be.
There's a question that you had or a debate you were having in the chat before we went to break last time. Was Marvin Bagley better than Tobias Harris? You did the homework during the break.
It's pretty much the same. I didn't look at Tobias Harris's stats, but
well, who has better chemistry in 2K?
I do like Tobias over Bagley.
I mean, not for 5 times as much salary. Tobias Harris is averaging 14 and 7 so far this season, and that's pretty much what Marvin Bagley was averaging on his 2 years with the Pistons where he actually played.
But you get 34% from 3.
Neither of them played defense. But yeah, he's a different player.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong. I actually don't know this off top.
So yeah, if your dipstick on this big free agent acquisition is he's better than Marvin Bagley, like yeah, for sure. But
no,
you'd be better than Marvin Bagley.
I think he's just he is what you need to make a trade. I think that's what Tobias Harris is for this team. Correct me if I'm wrong, Spencer. Isn't it a 1 year 1+1 with the team option, Tobias's, or is it 2 years flat?
I'm not sure.
2-year, $52 million deal.
So the second year is fully guaranteed?
Yep.
That's what I think so, but
that's what I'm looking at right now.
Okay.
Yeah, $26 million a year for Tobias is no overpay. He's not good.
It's a criminal.
NBA contracts are also insane.
They are insane for sure. But even by NBA contract standards.
Hey.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to fall off this hard. I thought he was kind of I thought he was a bit of a scapegoat in Philly. Like, you got to blame somebody. But holy cow, he does not look good.
No, he looks bad. And he doesn't play defense. But you never expected him to. Expected him to hit shots and knock down threes. And he has been better as of late. He started off the season pretty rough when it came to shooting threes. But he's been back to around what he is as a shooter in his career. So...
And just real quick for Mark Royal, that way I don't have to type it in the chat. If Ivy won more games just as many games without Cade as they've won as a total team with each other, that's my point. They're better without one another. That could work. Like, obviously stagger them the right way, and I think Ivy's shooting a lot better than he was last year. He still got that inefficiency streak in him, but that's just what it is at this point. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, they are more efficient without one another. That's why they've won just as many games without the other. Smaller sample size, more wins. That means they're better.
So easy to close this out. So with Ivy, you're looking to trade him for what? For assets? For
I'm not necessarily looking to trade. I mean, the right thing would have to be on the wall, but assets, yeah, mainly. That's what I'm looking for this Pistons team right now is assets. If the right situation come along, it's the right girl, my family likes her, then yeah, I'll pull the trigger. But I mean,
they're not going to trade Ivy.
Yeah, they're not going to trade Ivy. But for me, if I'm like looking to improve the team, if they're like that type of move, stretch 5, or a younger version of Tobias Harris, whoever that may be. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, tomorrow maybe we'll talk about it. Who is in the market that fits that description?
I'm gonna cook up some trades. I'm gonna go around the league. I'm gonna cook up some trades for Ivy because I do think while his value isn't a top 5 pick high like he was drafted, I think some team can talk them into, hey, give this guy the keys with like another co-star that fits better, and maybe this works. Like I think a lot of these bad teams around the league, Brooklyn, like that has no youth. Like teams like that, I think one of those teams could talk themselves into Ivy and giving up something that could help the Pistons. We'll see.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's go to break. We'll come back. We'll do some mailbag questions. But first, let me tell you about Salvation Army. When it comes to give to the Salvation Army, you know that your donation it makes it possible to serve our communities most vulnerable 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. The Salvation Army of Metro Detroit's 2024 Red Kettle Christmas campaign fundraising goal is $7 million. Your contributions will help provide love beyond Christmas to individuals in need of food, shelter, and compassion. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to donate.sagreatlakes.org to donate.
The bad boys from the NFL are here. Your 2024 Detroit Lions are the hardest hitting, highest flying, trickiest playing, grittiest team in the NFL.
A dominant team.
Get all your coverage of your favorite team right here in your favorite network. Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The countdown to kickoff is here. Your Detroit Lions are ready for another season of grit. Woodward Sports is your #1 destination for all breaking news and Lions coverage. We are Detroit's #1 sports network. We are Woodward Sports.
Coffee Roasters, delicious locally sourced specialty coffee dropped off right at your doorstep. Just subscribe at SabbathCoffeeRoasters.com. Use code word Woodward to get 25% off your first subscription order. Support local and just enjoy the best coffee in the game delivered right to your door. Why would you go waste time in the morning sitting in line to get an overpriced cup of coffee from someone else when you can order from Sabbath and they will drop the coffee off at your doorstep? And it's the best coffee you can have. Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Use code word Woodward to get 25% off your first order.
What up, though? Welcome back to Whatever Waits Live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm Easy Joe by Small Rax, young Chris, Nicholas Koloff. We got Chase in the building as well. A couple comments in Woodward Sports chat. Mail sack time, by the way. Get you guys mailbag questions in. Alan W. asks, how confident are y'all in our Super Bowl chance if we get the #1 seed? We play one less game, and they're all at home. That's the only way I see it happening, to be honest. It's tough because I don't know if it's the record or the filet or whatever expression Dan Campbell used, but we came out after that mini bye lackadaisical, and that's a game that was easy to get up for too. You're facing the Buffalo Bills, one of the best teams in the league. It almost makes you a little bit nervous about the bye, to be honest with you. But given the amount of injuries that we have and we just keep the team experiencing, I'd rather have the bye.
You need the bye. You need the
#1 seed.
You need the #1 seed. You need home field advantage. You need that bye bad to rest up and have your guys get healthy. Anzalone, Kaminsky, guys like that could possibly be returning for playoffs. Having that first week be a bye would be huge. So, yeah, I really want the first round bye.
Mailbag from Aaron Stone. Boys, what was the thought process behind bringing Tobias back? It was a failed experience the first time. Right running back when he's older and more washed up just feels like bad business. To be honest with me, I think you wanted to see for sure like the ideal fit with Cade and what it would look like. And
they wanted to stretch for. They needed a stretch for.
Yeah, he needed a stretch for. And although
who
Tobias
are they gonna get?
hasn't been that, yeah, who you're gonna get?
He wanted to come here.
What are you
for some
fighting
reason.
for? I think they would prefer to have that draft pick versus a play-in. And I'm with Nick though too. I think the play-in experience is valuable, but I think you have an idea that this team can win with the right guy at that stretch four. And to be honest, the first time Tobias was here, it worked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you just moved him away for Blake Griffin.
He was great his first time here. Honestly,
I
thought
love
for what he was, I thought he was a very good
his
player.
best years were in Detroit.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Genuinely a great dude too.
Yeah, very nice guy.
I mean, I hope he gets it together because we need him if we're gonna make the play. Like he needs to find a little bit of that old Tobias Harris. Honestly.
If he can shoot how he has the past 5 games, that'll help a lot. But
yeah,
the defense won't be there.
Hey, add him to the shooting gurus list. This shooting coach is getting his money's worth.
Obviously, he was out last night, but then you had 1 of 3, 1 of 4, 6 of 9, 2 of 5, another 2 of 5, but you also had an 0 for 3 in there, a 1 for 4.
Tobias?
Yeah, he's been streaky.
From 3 or that?
From 3.
All around. Oh, yeah. Alan W. Tobias is overhated in my opinion. He's not an all-star, but he hasn't been bad either. He's been an average to above average player. I agree with you. It's just a backlash that we got from making that point.
Yes.
Like people were speaking on him coming here, and this team, I don't know what they were fucking thinking. They thought he was just going to be the savior. That's what he said. And then maybe they didn't use that word, but the way they're talking about it, they're shaming us for saying it's Tobias, a 35-year-old Tobias Harris.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're a little bit harsher on the critics than I think we should be.
I agree.
And also, he's not shooting like an average starting 4. So, there's that.
Yeah. Was it 34%?
Yeah, I think 30-something.
Which ain't bad.
Yeah, 34% for the year.
Which ain't bad.
44% from the field.
This one's leading to the break.
Bad.
I don't know if he's still here, but shout out to Mark Royal. I appreciate you participating in the chat. And I know we've had our back and forth in the past, whatever. You're still the guy.
Valued member of the chat for sure. Mark Royal's in all the chats.
He did take a shot that Spinney had to swat when he's like, it took Tatum and JB
7 years to figure it out.
They made the conference finals their rookie year.
They've been perennial all-stars since they both came in the NBA. So it's a different situation, different level of talent, different 2 players, completely different styles. Like neither of them is really ball dominant. They both play off ball very well, and they're both good defenders.
Mm-hmm.
And they can both shoot. Jaylen Brown struggled shooting at first, but
yeah. Mailbag from Hunter. Easy. Why haven't you worn your Rams hat lately? I left it at your mom's house. Tell her I want my hoodie back too.
Just pick it up when you visit her later this week.
That's true. What the fuck is a blue lion? LML. Bunch of no. Oh. We got a Bears fan in the chat.
I mean, yeah. They got to be somewhere because they can't watch highlights of their quarterback because he is dog shit.
Get him, Nick.
Slay Queen.
So, yeah. LGBTQB1. You're about to get rocked this week.
I mean, what are we doing?
That.
Your team looked fucking horrendous last night.
Yeah, they just got
on
embarrassed.
national television.
They're looking to divert the blame because you just got embarrassed on national television.
You had a number 1 overall pick coming to one of the most ideal situations. You put a quarterback in, and you still fucked it up.
It's not
last night. There was at one point it could have been a game.
Still have yet to have a 4,000 yard passing yard or season in their franchise's existence.
That is rough.
Could never be us.
Mailbag. We watched the NBA Cup Finals.
I am.
Was that tonight?
Who's in it?
Is it tonight?
What, Knicks Thunder or
Thunder Bucks?
Thunder Bucks, yeah.
Tonight?
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Fucking Bucks should have been us.
Yeah.
Fucking Bucks.
Smack that game.
Fucking Bucks.
Look out for the Bucks. They're getting hot. But that'll do it for us today. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Make sure you smash the like button for Easy, for Nick, for Chase, for Chris. I am Spencer.
Yes, we still get pressures on Caleb.
We're the heavyweights. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.